Yeah. Hello, hello, Mr. Glass Jr. Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub. I really appreciate it. To Growing Chili Peppers. Hey, that's always fun, growing chili peppers. But hey, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. Hey, it's a little late. Later than I usually stream. Had some things to fix up this morning. And yes, I apologize for the EU people. It's late for them. What is the time in CET or whatever? 10:56. Oof. I actually think I need to start streaming earlier. 22:56. Yeah. Damn. I feel like if I were to stream, because usually I stream at about 12 o'clock, like midday my time. It's a little later than that right now. But if I was to start streaming at like 2 to 3 or even 4 hours earlier, I actually think it would be better for everyone. But it's tough to get all that stuff sorted out in the morning. I just need to get into a better routine. I've never been able to do a routine. Hey, yo. Yeah, routines have always been a struggle for me for my entire life. It's probably, as we keep talking about in this stream, it's probably a classic potential ADHD symptom. Hey, I've got some good news. I have an appointment tomorrow. I'm going to finally get screened for ADHD and see if that will help me with getting stuff out on a more timely manner, because I've always struggled with that. I've always struggled with deadlines and routines. It just happened right now. So I don't know if you guys probably noticed this, that I do this quite often. I'll be talking and then mid-sentence I'll start thinking about something else. And then my entire train of thought will just disappear. And then I have to spend like 10 seconds rebooting and being like, wait, what sentence was I in the middle of? Because I just started thinking about something else. It's quite literally like internet throbber on my face. Like, wait, that sounded dirty. I mean, the wheel that goes around, that's called a throbber. It shouldn't be called a throbber probably, because that's... Not when we're talking about my face, but the wheel that spins around. It's quite literally that. I'm just like, I have to, it's like dial-up noises when it happens. Yeah, so anyway. Treated gift of creativity. I mean, I don't think, I think, there's certainly been some advantages, but I also think it's something I probably need to get a handle on. Try turning it off and on again? No, not yet. Why must you go live while I'm at work? Are you in a US time zone? In which case, yeah, this is working time still. Yeah. Oh, did I get a staring contest? Oh yeah. Okay, let's do one of those. Wait, I got a progress report on my stuff from yesterday. The header is basically mapped out aside from some outlier variations. Once things are completely figured out, I can then start maybe making a tool to extract them, which is where I have no idea what I'd be doing. Well, good luck. I'm glad to see you've made some progress. All right, staring time. You guys ready? All right, I won't play any music. Let's just get this over with. Okay. Wait, no, I should let me count it in first. That didn't count. Okay, so I'll count down so that everyone else can join in. We can. We're gonna really do this contest. Okay. I'm starting. I'm gonna open my eyes in 3, 2, 1. Damn it. Okay, that was a short one. Yeah. I still need to get like live split going. Yo.
Tier 100, you failed.
Is it? I didn't fail. Is there really? Can you really fail a staring contest? Like, if you, what if I stared for 2 seconds and someone else only stared for 1? Then I'd be a winner. even if someone else stared for 3, I'd still be a winner because I beat the 1 second person. All right. I did not fail. Stop saying I failed. All right. So, what's going on today? So I think we're just gonna get right into getting some work done. I have basically two things on my to-do list today. I think there'll be well, I'm not sure about the first one, the premiere on wine, because I don't know. I have no background knowledge on that yet. That's going to be going in blind a little bit. But the second one, the Patreon login for mail system, I think would be fairly straightforward. It's just going to be some Patreon API stuff. What's the email website looking like? It's pretty much done. For Twitch subs, it's all done. I just have to do it for patrons next. Seeing as live split, I tried to use auto splitting and it did split at the end of the first level and it stopped counting. That was kind of our experience, is that when we were playing Shrek 2 for PC, it split automatically, I think maybe a couple times, and then live split just completely crashed. So like the whole thing was invalidated. Though that might be because we were running it through Wine and KDE 1, so that might just be that might be me making it harder. But yeah, feel free to make a billgates.sex or doingyour.mom email address, because you can now if you're a Twitch sub, and yeah, you can actually set them up. You can, I am, if you want to email me, I am matt@doingyour.mom. Classic, excellent moment. So yeah, I've done something I talked about doing yesterday, which is I swapped my PCIe cards around. I don't know if we're actually going to do any like GPU pass through today, so I don't know if we'll actually get a moment to test it. I don't think I've really gotten. Yo, what's this?
Tier 100. What about your patrons?
I just said I'm working on it. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're actually going to be doing any pass through to test it, and I haven't really had any like real issues apart from it freezing yesterday. I haven't had any of the same issues I was having before since I downgraded the kernel. I'm not sure. Yeah. Linux time split. You know, I'm amazed that I remember trying to do this. Okay, so here's a little bit of background. When I was in 2016, I was a bit of a Mario 64 runner, or at least I was an aspiring one. I never got a good time. I only got about 28 minutes and 30 seconds on my I think that was my PB, 28 minutes and 30 seconds, which is way off world record. But I think I had a MacBook at the time and I wanted to run live split on it. And you've been able to run live split in Wine for this whole time, but you can't use any of the global hotkeys don't work because they use, I guess, Windows hooks, and so they don't necessarily work through Wine. And it's still to this day that is the case. And I get that, you know, it might not be possible to get them to work through Wine, but at the same time, we still don't have any like real equivalent to that functionality on not Windows yet. Unfortunate, yeah. The worst speedrunner ever. Well, it did, to be fair, it did take me 9.5 hours to beat Shrek for the Xbox. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad runner, okay? That just means I'm, you know, taking it all in. I'm memorizing the whole map so that my next run is only going to be like 45 minutes, right? Obviously. You guys believe me. Now, I'm not a subpar runner. I just said I spend all that time absorbing the whole map so that the next time I do a second run of Shrek Xbox 2001, it'll be like half an hour, right? Obviously. Speedrun.com mods told me to use live splits game time once. What does that mean? Not sure. Is that related to auto splitting? I don't know. I'm not that much of a speedrunner. Yeah, I was trying to find new. I was trying to find some memory exploits. I was trying to try little memory setups to exploit some glitches later on. Obviously, that's what I was doing, right? Okay. Let's see what we can do here. A true Shrek spurt. That's why. Yeah, it's not because I'm a bad runner. I really do think I really should come up with a. I really should come up with a time to like do that Shrek Xbox 100% run, just because that would be funny. Okay, but anyway, back to. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Riding bikes using Shrek's position, obviously. Yo, 100 bits.
It's C-Live Matt.
Thank you for the 100 bits. It's C-Live. That's right, my favorite actor is C-Live Owens. Alright, well, let's see, so... It tried. It was supposed to be... Oh, it was supposed to be C-Live? I don't know how to get Sam to say C-Live. I haven't figured that out yet. So yeah, if you want to get an email, go to mail.metkc.com/join. You should be able to sign one up. You can sign up one per domain per account. Currently, you must be authenticated with a Twitch sub, but I will set up the Patreon. I think I'll probably set that up today. Any plans on playing DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing? Shrek and Karts, what's not to like? I have played that before in some old YouTube videos in the original Shrektember. I mean, yeah, if we get around to it next Shrektember, sure.
Cheer 100, you should train DVC audio and do with your own voice for the TTS thing. Cheer 100, Shrektastic.
Shrektastic. I'm good. I don't think I need to, I don't think I need to hear my own AI voice. I think I'll be better off without it. But hey, thanks for all the bits. Thanks for the 100 bits, FDD and Ikepop. Okay. In fact, maybe I'll start with the Patreon stuff, because I feel like that'll be relatively quick. And then I can post that out, and people can be like, wow, he still is doing stuff, even though he hasn't made a video in 2 months. Yeah. It would be dope, though. Maybe for you. Not for me. I don't think it would be dope for me. Have you ever eaten a USB stick? I'm afraid I can't say I have, but maybe that's my bad, right? What's it? Have you? What's it like? Okay, so, let's see, how does the Patreon API work? I feel like I've used the Patreon API before, and I think I found it was quite straightforward. As opposed to the YouTube Members API, if you want to know what the YouTube Members API is like, god damn, this thing, so if you want to get a list of your members, which I do because I use a script to generate the scrolling credits at the end of my videos, which lists all my patrons, and it used to list my YouTube members, before I closed YouTube members. But it turns out the members endpoint, you cannot use it anymore. Yo, Brief Relief, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thanks for the Bezos bucks, I really appreciate it. Hell yeah. So yeah, this endpoint can only be used by individual creators to make requests for their own channel memberships enabled YouTube channel. Reach out to your Google or YouTube representative to request access. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have a Google or YouTube representative. YouTube doesn't know who I am, they don't care who I am, I still never got my 100,000 subscriber plaque, right? So they don't give a fuck about me. Regardless, I did go through like all the channels to eventually get access to this endpoint so I could use it in my script. And honestly, the whole experience of members, I feel like, of the YouTube members, I feel like was really mediocre. I didn't like posting on YouTube members. I didn't like using YouTube members, and that's why eventually I closed it down, even though I went through all the channels to actually get access to this API for my script. Honestly, at the end of the day, fuck them. So, that's me ranting about the YouTube API. Let's talk about the Patreon API. Get a Google or YouTube representative? I should. I mean, unironically, I think that is what you're supposed to do. I don't know how you get one, but yeah, I'd love to get a YouTube or Google representative just so that I could complain every now and then. This is their way of saying you need one. Well, I did manage to get through without having one. I like made a whole support thread, and like I had to talk to some guy who had no idea what I was talking about, and then like they escalated me to someone who was like, oh, okay, we'll refer you to this team. That team was like, well, you can try using this service. Does that give you what you want? I was like, no, not really. And they're like, all right, well, send us all this information. They sent me a bunch of forms, and then we will consider giving you the members API. It's a whole thing.
Just see you at one and hope you roll high enough on persuasion.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I was able to get one. Not a representative. I was able to get access to the members API without a representative. But man, I hate the YouTube API so much. I've complained about this before on stream. I've complained about it frequently. The fact that it's nigh impossible to write a chatbot for a YouTube stream. Yeah, or a lot of other moderation tools for YouTube streams. It's just terrible. It's just what a terrible streaming platform. Unironically, I'm not even talking about the cultural problems, like the whole. The fact that half of the people on YouTube are apparently like 8 years old and they just spam bullshit in your chat whenever you stream to YouTube. Not even talking about that part. Just the website itself is bullshit. Anyway, so let's talk about getting a Patreon token purely in order to access. What's the actual API we want to get? It's members, or is it? So I'm trying to. I want the whatever endpoint will give me, like, is this person a patron of this Patreon campaign? They're called campaigns in the Patreon API. Remember when YouTube would ban chatters for using emotes in a stream? Did they do that? I mean, it doesn't surprise me. YouTube has, like, that's another thing. If you ever use like a naughty word in YouTube, you'll almost certainly get hidden under like, 'cause when you go to a YouTube chat, by default it shows you top chat, which means they filter out all the naughty words. So if you talk about cum as much as we do in this chat, we'd all just be getting like hidden by default on the YouTube chat. That's right, campaign. I'm running for president. That's me. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, I won't complain anymore about YouTube. YouTube is like, it's a great place to post videos. Terrible place to live stream. Really, really bad. YouTube is the kind of place that will spend $5 million to get an exclusivity contract with Ludwig, but won't spend a single cent on actually improving their chat experience. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so let's see. Fetches the user. So this is the endpoint for accessing your favorite token user with reference to the OAuth token. Includes memberships campaign. Alright, so yeah, I want memberships. Uses membership to a campaign remains consistent across months of pledging. Alright, so I need to get like get people who are members of this campaign. Or I just need to know that if they are a member of a campaign. So hang on, if I go back to identity, if you request campaign, have the campaign scope, you'll have information about the user campaign. Now, I don't care about their campaign. If you request campaign and memberships, okay. if you request memberships and don't have the identity membership scope, you will receive data about the user's membership to your campaign. If you do have the scope, you will receive data about all of the user's memberships to all the campaigns they're a part of. Okay, so looks like I just need to access this API, and I don't need the membership scope or the campaign scope or anything like that. It looks like I can just I can just use this. I can just request memberships and I'll just get it, I think. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and try that out, shall we? Real quick, just to make sure I don't have any... Yeah, I don't. Okay. If you wanted to, by the way, if you wanted to use MailKC with a client, this is the information that you'll need. Basically, you need to manually set your server address because I don't have the auto discovery stuff on the DNS yet. I'll have to set that up at some point, but I don't have it yet. Anyway, oh yeah, and I have to mount my VPS real quick. What about POP3? There's no POP3, at least not yet. Why do I feel like most companies keep most of their source closed, not because of company secrets, but because they have so many bad programming decisions to hide? I think it's that, and the fact that the problem with open source is it's virtually impossible to monetize open source. Like, if you talk about the GPL, which is one of the most common open source licenses, the GPL requires you to release source code. It requires you to at least let people know that they have access to your source code. And in theory, if someone buys, it doesn't say you can't monetize. You can monetize. You can say that you only give people this stuff if they pay for it. But there's nothing in the GPL that says when someone buys your source code from you that they can't just like redistribute it themselves without charging for it. I believe there's nothing in the GPL that says that. And then or conversely, there's nothing in the GPL that says you can't, say, take an open source product like some open source software like Blender and take that and tweak it a little bit and then sell that as your own thing for like $100 and just sell the whole thing. And then, but you are still required to produce the source code, so then someone else can take that, can buy the source code from you and then release it for free. It's essentially, it's virtually impossible to monetize open source software. Because let's say if you wrote anything, any kind of DRM or anything that's like requires like a serial number or an activation code, if you're required to release that source code, then essentially people will know exactly how it works. They'll know exactly what the algorithm is to produce a serial number, a valid serial number, and then you'll just or they'll be able to patch it out, just remove it, and then redistribute it with no protection. So there's just no way to prevent people from just immediately making cracks of your software. Yeah. Isn't that copyleft? Possibly. I need to look into it more. I read through the GPL, so I knew like what it does and does not allow or prevent or forbid. But I don't know about the broader implications of open source copyright. I know a lot about what would you call it? I know a lot about stuff like fair use and reverse engineering, though, because that's usually what I research. Would it be possible to DRM with public and private key signing? The thing is, if you had access to the source code, depending on how you did it, if you had access to the source code, you could probably just remove whatever code is like, it does whatever signing or whatever, and the GPL requires you to make that source code available. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know if there's really any good way around it. Anyway, yeah, so let's go ahead, and I think this will be quite, oh, hang on. Slash join mint. Linux is a trademark for that reason to people selling Linux, but obviously you can fork and call it something different. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the few things you can do. You might be able to patent it, but like your code, I don't actually know though. Patent law is something I'm really unfamiliar with. I know like bits and pieces of copyright law, especially when it comes to, as like I said, fair use and reverse engineering and stuff like that, but not a lot when it comes to patent. I don't know if that would help. You'd still support. Yeah, you need to provide some other, like, some alternative way to monetize, yeah. Anyway, I apologize that this is a late stream, a bit of a lethargic stream, but as I said earlier in the stream, I would like to start streaming earlier. Like, I think if I even stream 2 or 3 hours earlier, I feel like most people would be in favor of that. So, yeah, so I'm planning to, but not today. I did do some things this morning though. What was it? Oh yeah, I finally reviewed some old pull requests on the Lego Island decomp. I've been really falling behind on that. It's my bad. It's just I just have a lot of trouble concentrating on things, as I've said. You know, like as I've said in the past, I've complained about. I'm getting screened for ADHD tomorrow. We'll see if that helps at all. We'll see what happens, what comes out of that. I mean, my friends and I feel like I probably have. I at least show a lot of symptoms, but I don't want to be one of those motherfuckers that self-diagnose. It's like, this is what I have now. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna get a formal opinion tomorrow, essentially. Okay, so let's start working on some Patreon stuff. So I can close this one, and I'll just say Patreon auth button. Click. And I should do some more. I haven't done a Lego Island decomp in a while. I feel like it's been a couple weeks at least. Should do a little bit more on that too. Just got done just guessing some geos. Hell yeah. I feel like we haven't done that in a while. We used to do GeoGuessr on this stream like every single time. I used to end every stream with GeoGuessr with chat. I feel like I haven't done that in a long time. I guess not since I came back, right, in July. Yo, Murph Doggerel 12345. Thanks so much for the tier 1. Are you looking forward to a BillGates.sex or doingyour.mom email address? Hey, thank you so much for the sub. Could someone get 2 emails via Patreon and Twitch? Yeah, it's one. It's you could get more than that actually. It's 1 account per domain per account, so you could get 4 technically from a Twitch and a Patreon. Why don't I stream on YouTube? Man, if you went back in this VOD, I just went on a absolute rampage about how terrible YouTube is as a live streaming platform. But I guess that's the short answer is YouTube is a terrible live streaming platform. But yeah, it's awful. Anyway, all right, Patreon auth button. Let's figure this out. So what we want to do is we just want to call this API with include memberships, and YouTube is a terrible platform. Yeah, I mean, it still probably is the best platform for uploading like on-demand videos to. It is far from the best platform for uploading or for doing live streams to. But I mean, not to say it doesn't have other problems for sure. All right, so let's take a look at this, shall we? We're gonna do another pop-up. Pop-up equals window.open. So yeah, we need to do some OAuth again. How do I use this again? I still miss. I know that most people probably don't care. I actually miss my chat implementation. I guess it's because I wrote it. I got it working like just how I wanted it to. I know that no one else cares, but I liked that chat implementation. It's not that it's the best of anything in its class, it's that all the competitors have failed. Sure, yeah. I'm trying to think, are there any competitors that are still up? But I guess not. There's no Vidler anymore, there's no Blip TV anymore, does MetaCafe still exist? Does Dailymotion still exist? Vimeo survives solely because filmmakers like to use Vimeo, and filmmakers will pay to use Vimeo. Because I don't think you can post much on Vimeo without actually paying money, which kind of makes sense considering, you know, how much storage space and bandwidth video takes. It kind of makes sense that you would pay for it. But then again, a big key to YouTube's popularity is the fact that you don't have to pay to upload to it. All right, so I need to do all this stuff again. We're gonna make another state here. The state, just the absolute state. And we need to get a client ID. I'll do that off stream, real quick. Create your own streaming platform. I mean, I kind of did in the sense that like, my separate stream site was kind of a separate platform, even though it used YouTube as a broadcasting platform. But I don't mind that per se, because I think YouTube's player is nice. The fact that it has like rewind support, I like that. But actually making a live stream platform, the amount of bandwidth you need is unbelievable. There's a reason why Twitch is barely profitable. In fact, I think it might not be profitable at all. I think it might be like, it might just break even, or it might actually run at a loss for Amazon. I don't know exactly, and of course they don't publicize a lot of these stats. But yeah, YouTube player plus Twitch bandwidth and low latency mode. Yeah, YouTube player plus like better chat system plus some features from Twitch. That would be pretty sick. You could I think you could make a site that's like that gets the best of everything. It's just that you have to be you have to have, I mean, so I think in theory I do have the kind of audience that would follow me to a site like that, because it's a technical audience. But I think you also have to have a stream that's good enough that people will go to that effort. And I think I'm still getting there as far as like being a good streamer, you know what I mean? Okay, so I need to make a Patreon like app, a new client ID, developer portal. I don't know how to get to here from like where is the developer? Oh, clients and API keys. That's what I'm looking for. Or use an RTMP server and FFmpeg, and a shitload of like upload speed. Yeah. The best at doing your mom. Let's go. Hell yeah. He followed you to Chat KC. I know. I really do. In some ways, I do miss. As I said, I miss Chat KC. I think the real reason I didn't hold on to it was because I felt like, you know, all the streamers that I watch stream on Twitch, and it feels like most of the streamers that take streaming seriously stream on Twitch, and it just felt like by having my own platform and kind of isolating myself, I was kind of segregating myself from the rest of the streaming world, and that felt like and I felt like, well, it's probably worth growing an audience on Twitch that's not necessarily separate from the audience of YouTube, but doesn't necessarily depend on the audience on YouTube. Like, something could happen to my YouTube channel. It's good to not have all your eggs in one basket, etc., etc. And at that point, if I'm streaming on Twitch, then as much as I liked ChatKC, the necessity for it didn't seem quite as high. So that's why I ended up ditching it. But I do still miss it. Okay, so this is Mayo KC sign up. App category, it's a member benefits. I guess that's true. Member recognition, member patronage, community, content management, productivity, business tools. I think member benefits is probably correct. Author or company name. Oh no, none of this is required. Who cares? Create. Internal error. What the hell? Oh, I guess I need to do like the redirect URI. Okay, so it's netkc.com/join/callback/Patreon. All right. Cool. That worked. I just need to actually get the key. Where, how do I, why? I wish I could show you this, but like, Patreon's dev page is actually not, oh, there they are. No, never mind. I figured it out. Okay, so, got our client ID, and this is not a secret, so I can just, you guys can see it, you see it anyway, so it's not a problem. Then the callback, or the redirect URI is this. We don't need any scopes, I believe, because according to the API, if I request memberships and don't have the membership scope, I'll receive the data about the user's membership to my campaign. That's all I need, so I don't actually need the membership scope. I'm not sure if I need any scopes in that case, so I'll just leave that empty for now. So yeah, let's open this up, see what happens. State is going to be state. All right. Actually, I should make this a constant. Patreon client ID equals this. All right. Okay. Sorry, I missed some chat. What's going on here? Other YouTube alternatives I can name off the top of my head are like Storyfire, Odyssey, Shit, Vlare, Rip, and Vanillo. Yeah, I mean some of the this doesn't count really. This isn't really a YouTube alternative, but like there's also, I know creators like Nebula now, because Nebula is like an exclusive YouTube, exclusive invite-only YouTube that pays you a lot more money. I can see how it would feel like a very ideal solution for bigger creators, but yeah. They made a rule where you can't redirect users of one chat to another to... Hang on, what's happening? Oh, streaming on 2 platforms. Yeah, I've considered streaming on, like, dual streaming to YouTube and Twitch. But if I did, I'd probably disable YouTube chat, because fuck that shit. And I'd probably just direct people to come to Twitch anyway. Like, Twitch would probably still be the main streaming platform, and YouTube would be the, like, the satellite platform that and maybe in that case, I'd stream on a bunch of platforms, but, like, I'd only pay attention to the Twitch chat, probably. They made a rule against that is what I'm saying. You can't disable one chat or the other, I thought. My understanding is that you can't use a system that merges chats. You have to point people to you can't point people away from Twitch chat, is my understanding, is what the rule was. But that if you're only paying attention to Twitch chat, that's fine. But you can't have something that like that means you don't have to be on Twitch. But hang on, let's check the actual rule real quick. So Twitch multi-streaming rules, simulcasting guidelines. You're streaming your Patreon client ID. Yeah, but I mean this shit's public anyway. Like you'll see this anyway as soon as you go to the URL. There's nothing you can really do with this. Well, not nothing you can do with it, but like there's nothing you can do to hide it. So it's not really an issue. Ensure that the quality of Twitch user experience is at minimum no less than the experience on other platforms, including by your engagement with the Twitch community. So this is saying you can't neglect the Twitch chat. So you can't ignore Twitch chat more than you ignore YouTube or Kick chat or Rumble chat or whatever. Do not provide links or otherwise direct your community to leave Twitch for your simulcast on other services. And you don't use third-party services that combine activity from other platforms. So basically, all of the rules are just, we're going to let you stream on other platforms, but you can't encourage people to leave Twitch, or you can't make it convenient for people to leave Twitch. So don't prioritize a non-Twitch platform. Don't link people to or don't direct people to go to Kick chat because I guess I'm trying to think why you would do that. Don't tell people to leave Twitch and go to Kick chat instead, and don't use systems that would combine YouTube, Twitch, and Kick chat that in order to so they don't have to be on Twitch, the platform. They can be on another platform and still use like Twitch chat and YouTube and Kick. So essentially all these rules are just like, you can stream on other platforms, but you can't direct people away from Twitch while you're simulcasting to Twitch. XQC does that when he switches to Kick. I think that doesn't count because this only matters when you're simulcasting. I think you can say, all right, goodbye Twitch, I'm going to Kick now, but you can't say, hi Twitch and Kick, by the way, I'm only paying attention to Kick, so if you're on Twitch, go to Kick instead. You can't, it's fine if you're ending the Twitch stream and saying, now I'm going over here, but not, I'm streaming to both and also go here and not Twitch. So yeah, I don't believe there's any issue with like disabling YouTube chat, unless YouTube introduced a rule. They made exceptions for corpos. They certainly, you have to keep, yeah, there were certainly people who had exceptions, I think, because you have to remember Twitch partner is not the same as YouTube partner. YouTube partner means you've gotten like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and they've checked to make sure you're not an ISIS recruiter, and they're gonna let you share some revenue. It's the equivalent of a Twitch affiliate, not a Twitch partner. A Twitch partner, and I believe the process, I've heard the process is mostly automated anyway. Like maybe a human checks just to make sure you're not posting porn or copyrighted material or ISIS recruitment videos. I guess it wouldn't be ISIS anymore, but still. There's not a lot of human component to it, whereas with Twitch partner, it's a lot more of an actual partnership. Like the biggest streamers can negotiate stuff in their contract and negotiate their rates and certain things that they're allowed to do. And I believe what I heard, and I don't know if this is true, what I heard or what people said was that they have that some people like LTT might have like a carve out in their contract, because Twitch partners can have carve outs in their contracts, whereas a YouTube partner, everyone kind of gets the same deal, unless you're like really big and you get like, I don't know, into Google preferred or whatever the hell. How is Kick profitable? It's like someone copy paste Twitch and theme green. Gambling money. Yeah. Twitch is, yeah, Kick is, it would appear to be, Kick is, well, because remember, the reason why Kick exists at all is because Twitch banned gambling. And so there needed to be a new stream platform that did not ban gambling, and it is backed by gambling companies. And gambling is, of course, ludicrously popular. And oh no, when I say popular, no, I meant ludicrously profitable. Gambling is, of course, ludicrously profitable. So I believe that Kick is one, you know, from a business standpoint, Kick is a big piece of marketing for this gambling, for the gambling industry. That being said, you can go on Kick and turn off like gambling streams. You can turn off a lot of that stuff, and you don't have to engage in gambling to use Kick. But that does seem to be how it gets subsidized. To be fair, every other website in the world gets subsidized by selling your personal data to advertisers. So pick your poison, I guess. Yeah. Have I found any particularly creative email signups so far? I haven't been looking that closely at like everyone's user accounts, but I have gotten some emails. Hang on, so if we go to mail.mattkc.com and I go matt@doingneuro.mom, what do we get? Just want to say hi. Hey. Hi, that's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Kind regards, the guy that loves doing your mom. Well, at least someone's enjoying it. Alright, so what's next? Oh yeah, so I was gonna see if this, let's see if this works, I think. Alright, so callback. Yeah, alright, so I just need to make another one of these for Patreon. And here, I'm just gonna comment this out for now and just see what we get, alright? You get the mail system working? Yeah, I got it working for Twitch subs, not for Patreons yet. I'm doing the Patreons right now. Look at the Wayback Machine archive of my website. I did look. Hang on, alright. I'll take a look. I believe I've seen this before. I believe this is the guy that I bought the domain from. Yeah. Yeah, this used to be some ATV fishing and tech blog, I guess. Right up until 2021 or so, when I sent the guy an email and said, hey, would you ever sell this domain? And he was like, yep. And I bought it from him. Oh, he had mattkc@me.com. He didn't even have @mattkc.com. That's so cringe. But I think that probably is the email I sent. I was just like, hey, can I have this domain? And he was like, okay. Which was nice. That was nice of him. All right. Anyway, let's see what happens if I log in with Patreon. What opens up? So I need to, I guess, sign into a Patreon account. AppleOwnsMe.com. Yeah, it's because in 2008, the precursor to iCloud was called MobileMe.com, and that's where it comes from. The emails at that time were me.com. Gonna hit my boss with these nuts at doing your mom. You need to put that on your resume, and when you're finding jobs, just make the email that, and people will be like, Jesus. Anyway. I wanted to buy xd.lol, but there was some mentally ill person who owned it, and when I asked them for it, they gave me a paragraph of schizophrenic shit, and then somebody else got it, and now I can't have it. Bruh. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I was lucky with mattkc.com. I've tried to buy other domains that people had, and tried to send them an email, and just got no reply at all. That's usually what happens, I get no reply at all. Sorry, got a message I need to respond to. What the hell is this? What is this 80s rock happening? That's kind of fun. But that's okay. I'll change it back. Alright. Okay, so to be honest, if you're looking for a job in tech, having a doing your mom would probably not be detrimental, at least. Having a Bill Gates.sex would probably be even better for a job in tech. Alright. Only need one more. Cum. Maybe. I know that we tried to get... Oh, we looked into getting cum.ing, because the new .ing domains are coming out. They're coming out. But I think that one was really expensive. I think that was one of the $100,000 a year ones. What was that? Oh yeah, so I wanted to see if... No, I don't have... I guess I'll log in as me on Patreon. I don't know if that, like... I don't know if I count as a patron of myself. Oh yeah, and I was gonna log out of Twitch. I guess I'll do that later. For now, let's log in as me. Oh no, it's my email address. I guess I shouldn't be showing this, but I mean, people already know that email address, so it doesn't matter. Sync shit. 130k is a great deal to come everywhere. True. Alright, hang on, let me log out of Twitch real quick. Alright, cool. Matt Casey, Male Casey sign up would like to view your public profile. Zone is a thing? Hang on, really? Wait, hold up. Surely. Oh man, who took it? Who is Cumzone? Oh, I don't even have who is on here. How embarrassing. Oops, that's not my password. Most of, I mean, this doesn't really like... Oh god. This doesn't even really like... Who is doesn't even provide much information anymore because everyone's got privacy. Come-ing or go-ing, I can barely decide. True. Is .png an actual, Oh no, not PNG. The cum zone. Why is who is not doing anything? That's weird. I guess I can do a Google who is. Cum zone. Meme zone. Registered in 2020. Ah, we're too late. Cum zone is unavailable. Oh, I like these suggestions. cum.us.com. Wait, I can get us.com? Oh no, I guess that's just the subdomain. Stanton cum? Who the hell is Stanton? Los Alamitos cum. Cum America. Ross Moore cum. Who the hell is Ross Moore? Cum fit. I love these suggestions. How did it come up with these? Cum America. Anaheim cum. California cum. Cum tea. No. That doesn't sound nutritious. All right. Anyway. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. So we got a code and we got a state. That's all we need. So I guess we'll just say get code. I guess I'm not supposed to be leaking OAuth tokens, but this doesn't have any scopes anyway, so it's probably fine. So we got code and state, but we need to get it from this URL. So hang on a sec. .asm, that would be fun. We could do so much reverse engineering stuff on .asm. All right, what's next? So how to get JavaScript get query string. It's window.location.search apparently. Let's see if that works. .search. Don't want to close yet. We'll just log this stuff for now. I can't leak the database password to my DB that is off the internet. Not today. This OAuth token has no scope. Should be fine. I mean, it should be, right? The only scope it has is view my public profile. So, but yeah, I know. All right, cool. Seems like we got everything. Cool. All right. Domain with my name's only $10 a year. I know what I'm doing for a weekend far removed from now. Hey, there you go. Cool. So, yeah, we just have to... Yeah, just have to do some fetching now. Oh wait, I closed the Twitch, the auth, that's why I couldn't find it. Yep, window add event listener. Wait, I guess I should remove the event window. Window, remove, event listener. Yeah, I know, there should be like a link. I know it's hidden. The join page is hidden at the moment. I haven't figured out a good way to do that yet. Function. I guess catch Twitch message E, and then I'll grab this. Okay. And then just add this here, I think. And then I think I can remove it then. Dot remove event listener, I think. The event listener is removed, is registered as a capturing listener or not. Is that what this does? Like... Yeah, because what does this false here even do? Use capture. I guess so. Alright, so I guess I'll keep it false. xd.lol has a copy of Minecraft Classic on it. Hey, hell yeah. Let's take a look at that. Huh. It actually does. Oh, it's got a fake Winamp on it, and it's got no SSL. But okay, let's play. All right, sure.
Ostrzeżenie. Znaleziono wirusa.
Uh-oh. It does have SSL, but it's broken on a different site. I click creative. All right, well, let's see what this does. Eaglercraft, all right. I mean, yes. Why is the mouse control so weird? Strange. Okay, that might. I wonder if that's like a VM thing. Hang on. Can I capture my? Hang on. Whatever. I mean, it is kind of working. Yeah, it's Minecraft. There's swastikas on the creative server. Oof. Is this actually connecting to a real server? Hang on, I need to fix this mouse bullshit. Hang on. I'm gonna try a trick just in case it is the VM. Yes. Okay, yeah, that's better. Wow, so that's someone on street or on the server with me. So it's actually okay. So it's a real server. Okay, there we go. Interesting. Huh. I mean, there you go. It is Minecraft. So I guess because it's Java, you can just embed Java into a browser if you really want with enough mods and shit, and it'll work. I think that's the idea. Nifty. Who's online? Oh, just 3 of us. Wow. Well, I mean, this is a good use of your xd.lol to have actual Minecraft on it. Oh. Alright, what the hell is this? Game crashed. I have fallen and I can't get up. If this has happened more than once, then please copy the text on the screen and publish it in the issues feed of this GitHub repository. Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to play enough to see if it happens a second time, but yeah. It's JavaScript emulating Java. Oh, so it's not Java. It's not embedded Java. Man, that shows how much I've kept up to date with the modern internet. Yeah, definitely neat, for sure. Can't you just, like, when are we gonna just port Minecraft to JavaScript and like WebGL and shit? Like, you could do that, right? Modern sucks. True. Based. Alright. This is pretty much that. Is it actually? I thought it was like JavaScript emulating like a JVM rather than like, I guess I'm specifically talking about like a port. Don't give yourself ideas. No, I've got too many already. Catch Patreon message E. JavaScript running Java is just JScript running C# but worse. Yeah, I'm sure. Alright, so catch Patreon message and then remove the listener when it's done. I think that's how this will work. I think that's valid. Alright, it's the 9x with CSS guy. Wow, is that who I am now? Okay, so alright, so we're handing the code and the state back. If we didn't get the code or we didn't get the state, oops, then do nothing. Or, oh, we have to get .data, I guess. Oh, actually, yeah, my bad. We need to do all these checks about the origin. Okay, so if it does not equal root URL, any source does not equal pop-up, get the data. If state does not equal the state, then return. And now we can start using that to do stuff. Okay, const Patreon access token equals token data dot code. It's code this time. And then we're going to use that to we only need to do one fetch this time. Still Lego Island guy? Okay, good. I'm glad I haven't lost the title. Okay, so instead of Twitch, we're going to be accessing comlight.com, obviously. No, we need to access... I guess I closed them all. Patreon. Okay, I guess maybe I didn't have this on here. Patreon API. Yeah, I swear I did. Okay, so we're gonna add, I guess, oh yeah, we just need, it's just this. It's literally just this. Include memberships. I think that's all. Obviously, I need to figure out what the actual URL is. So the actual Patreon API URL. I'm sure that's somewhere here. Oh, it probably says so here. Yeah, okay. Oh, so it is just patreon.com. That makes sense. All right. And we need to send some headers, I'm sure. We need to send some... It's probably just this again. It's probably just bearer and then the client ID, which is this. Okay. And then I guess we get some JSON back. And... okay, and I think it looks like what we're looking for is... Oops. Subdata dot data dot relationships. Well, actually, I guess I should just, I guess I'll just log this first and just see what it looks like. Okay. Let's see if this works. Apparently not. Press X to JSON. We need come America. No, no. I think we need something a little bit more clever than come America. Okay, so something's failing right now. Hello. Oh, I think I just need to. Oops! I just need to refresh it. I haven't refreshed the code. All right, log in. Hello. Access to fetch from has been blocked by cores. Has it really? Response to really? Surely that's not true. We're going to download an official Windows 10 ISO? Yeah, on Microsoft's website. It's actually fairly easy. Underyourmattress.com. At underyourmattress. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Gosh. Where was I? Why is this happening? Boring work. Oh my god, I love boring work. Surely, no. Do I need to be doing like a post? How am I supposed to be doing this? It is a get. Fetches the user resource. Top level includes memberships and campaign. This is the endpoint for accessing information about the current user with reference to the OAuth token. With the basic scope of identity, you will receive the user's public profile information. If you have the identity email scope, you will also get the user's email address, but you will not receive email address without that scope. Fields for each include must be explicitly requested, i.e. fields, campaign summary. Yeah, okay. I'm doing identity include memberships. You can request related data through includes. That's what I've done. Request campaign, have the campaign scope, you'll receive information. Okay. So why am I getting like a cores issue? Yeah, access to fetch. Hang on, I need to make this smaller so I can read it better. From origin has been blocked by cores policy. Response to pre-flight request doesn't pass. Access control check. So is this a Patreon thing? Like, does Patreon not let you fetch? Access to fetch Patreon API blocked by cores. Yes, I'm using React. I wouldn't recommend using client-side JavaScript to access the API directly. It exposes your client ID and secret, but doesn't expose my secret, in theory. To anyone savvy enough to muddle through your JavaScript files, better practice to use the API on the server side, then serve the data to your client. Alright, so I guess Patreon doesn't have a client-side mode. It has to be a server-side thing. So I guess what that means is we're going to make this a PHP. And we're going to do this differently, I suppose. Run through a PHP proxy. Well, I think I'll just do the actual backend stuff on the, like, once I'm doing like stuff in PHP, I think I'll just do it all in PHP. Maybe that's what I'll do with my the Trollface sites, embed Minecraft or something. Hell yeah. Oh god. Okay. Thankfully, I think the Patreon API actually has a Patreon, a PHP library. API libraries, PHP. So this might honestly be what I might just cheese it and use this. Yeah, hang on. I think I might just do that. Okay. Ugh. No. Oops. Cause my loathed. It do be like that, yeah. Alright, so that being said, alright, probably fine. And, okay, so how do I actually use it now? I guess there's probably documentation somewhere around here. Usage, alright. I'm gonna have to leak my client ID and client secret. No, I'm kidding. I'll just put it in a separate file and not open it. So we generate the, get the URL, state, final page, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Weird. Scope parameters. Yeah, okay, we're not looking for scope, we don't care. Okay, so login. So if we're not actually logged in yet, alright, so, okay, so here, okay, this is what we do. So we've already got this stuff. I think we just have to do this, yeah. So I'll say, client ID, client secret, tokens is, get the tokens, cool. And then with these tokens, well, I guess I can just send these back to the client, the access token, because we don't need to do any, like, I don't think we need to do any refresh, because we're only doing this check one time. So, though it would be nice to have access to, like, this. Oh, that's okay, actually. We can do this through PHP as well. Alright, cool. Good to know. We just need to include, right, this. I think. Anyway, how are you guys doing? How's your week been? What is it today? It's Monday. How's everything going for you guys? Tiring? Oof, really? I feel a little bit tired. I think that's just because I'm like sleep deprived, so I need to start going to sleep earlier. As Chris Pratt probably said, I hate Mondays. I guess we'll find out in like a year or so. When's that movie coming out? Oh god. Do you guys think this is actually going to be any good? The Garfield movie? Crisp rat. Yeah. Currently making a live split alternative in Python. Hey, well, if it works, maybe I'll use it. Because I'd love to use something, something live split like, but on not Windows. Haha, no, it'll be awful. Yeah, I mean, but it can't be much worse than the 2004 Garfield, right? Or are those going to be some famous last words? Better than probably most pre-2017 Sony movies? Yeah, maybe. I'll be honest. I don't have many high expectations for this one, but sure. Sure, they can do that. I feel like Chris Pratt has really cornered the market on sounding like, you know, on the generic animation voice. So that was literally his role in the Lego movie, was the entire character he was playing. The entire character was supposed to be like, you know, generic everyman guy. And then he did this, he was also the generic everyman guy for Mario. And I'm gonna guess he's also gonna do generic everyman guy for the Garfield movie. Yeah. Trying to make an object show about math for dyscalculia. I have dyscalculia and figured if I get it, maybe my explanation of math will be good. Thing is though, I don't understand any math from what I read. Very terribly dream-wrecking week and been sick too. Oof! That sucks. I hope hope things get a little better. That sounds very unfortunate. Best voice in LEGO Movie? Spaceship. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. I feel like I only watched it when it came out 10 years ago. I don't remember anything about, I don't remember a lot about it. Charlie Day? What, Luigi? Anyway, so, okay, so in that case, yeah, I guess I'll just wrap this HTML or this PHP into the HTML. Actually, no, what I'll do is I'll be a little bit neater. I'll do this, so instead of, I won't need this params anymore, instead I'll just be like, I'll use this PHP syntax, the state, and then access token. Oh, actually, no, it's just access token now. Alright. See if that works. Gay Luigi? What a classic game. It's too bad the game itself is actually kind of boring, because I feel like I would do like a full playthrough of that game on stream, but most of it is actually kind of dull to watch, I feel like. It's just, it quite literally is just closing doors the whole time. Invalid scope. That's interesting. What, you mean scope nothing, it doesn't work? Why was I getting codes before though? I was getting codes before. The cutscenes will make up for it. Yeah, maybe. If we make it like if we try to get a little bit more fun out of it, like maybe if we make it a speed run, it'll be alright. We'll see. Why am I suddenly getting invalid scope when I wasn't before? I got a code before. Okay, get that out of here. All toasters toast toast. True. What does the console say? Unexpected token. Oh yeah, true. I need to put these in quotes. Not that that fixes the fact that I'm apparently getting invalid scope, but still. Oh yeah, so we're not going to worry about any of this right now. Let's just make sure we got the code. As long as we get the code, we're fine. And we don't. Yeah, I guess we're getting some invalid scope shit, right? Yeah, invalid scope. But yeah, what's weird about that is that we didn't before. I don't know why. Nice scopes. All right, we'll get some scopes, and then after this we'll do some look at some Premiere stuff. That could actually be kind of interesting because that's going to be some unironic reverse engineering. Provides read access to data about the user. See identity. Okay, so we need the identity scope. Okay. God. Okay, so if we're actually gonna have some scopes, maybe I will need to do these next tests off stream. Equals identity. All right, real quick, we'll do this off stream. Allow. View my public profile. Okay, well, if it's just the public profile, I guess the scope probably isn't that bad, but still, even so. Code. Alright, what do we... oh yeah, we quite literally do not get this access token. Very strange. Oh, that's because I didn't import the client ID and the client secret. That makes sense. Client ID is this, and client secret equals that. Yeah, but then it'll be fun when this is all done. Basic split for anyone who wanting to keep up to date with basic split. If it actually goes on, hey, nice. That is certainly, like I said, I certainly do think we need something that does speedrun splitting on not Windows. Okay. I need to grab my client ID and client secret real quick, which is another thing I need to do off stream. At least we're getting through this OAuth stuff relatively quickly. Like, it could be so much worse. Alright, include config.php. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do, donkey. Allow. No, we still aren't getting anything. Weird. Oh, I also need to set redirect URI, I guess. Alright. Almost done. Cool. Okay, so now we have a code. Good. I'll close that, and we'll set this to auth mode equals Patreon, and auth token equals Patreon access token. And then we can use that later on to actually do the verification. We might do the verification on the back end, just to make things easier. Logged in with Patreon. Every time I hear the word Patreon, I think of patriarchy for some reason. How are you guys installing a fresh OS onto your PC? Oh yeah, once upon a time, I was when I was a teenager, I would reinstall so frequently. So unbelievably frequently. My friends would make fun of me for it. I think I would reinstall Windows 7 about once a month, or maybe once every 2 months. And to be fair, to an extent, I think that Windows kind of encourages you to do that because I don't think it's superstition that Windows, it feels like Windows like bloats down over time. Like as you use it for over the course of time, it feels like it gets slower. Even if you like go back and uninstall stuff, it feels like it gets slower. And it doesn't feel it's gotten better. I feel like I didn't feel that so much with Windows 10, but I absolutely felt that with Windows 7. And so anytime I felt like my computer getting a little bit slower, or I was just like, oh, these files are a little messy, I would just reinstall Windows. Yeah, it was wild. Say, a lot of people saying same. That's good. Yeah, and people would make fun of me, but I had it down to a science. I had all my installers and configuration files onto a flash drive, and so every time I reinstall it, I'll just reinstall, plug my flash drive in, go down the list, install app after app after app, and then I was back where I was before. I could back up and running in a couple hours. Easy. Yeah. Let's be honest, Windows shits itself full of worthless data and slows down like a bitch so fast once a month. Isn't that crazy? I kind of feel that that is how long it would take for me to just feel like, oh, this feels like a little more sluggish, or it feels like there's too much mess everywhere. I think I'm going to reinstall. And yeah, it only took about a month or two each time. And I think part of that is, this is just speculation. Oh, I know some friends. I know I've realized in later years that like the Windows registry is like one big file. It's just this huge file. Like not the entire registry actually. Like the different sections of it, like local machine and current user and all those. They're like all big monolithic files. I'm fairly sure, and I've come to the conclusion that, especially on a non-SSD, which I was on back then, in the Windows 7 days, I was on a non-SSD, as that thing expands, it must be slower to index. It must get slower to look through, just by virtue of it being a huge file, especially, and the reason I say especially on a non-SSD is because back then, random accesses took time. You couldn't just, it wasn't just data sitting on a solid state drive. You actually had to go to a different part of a disk to go to a different part of the file. That's why defragmenting was a thing for a while, because that would find ways to put your files all together into one continuous segment. And I feel like that mustn't be good, that the registry, so much of the registry is just big monolithic files. Even with an SSD is still an issue. It probably still is, yeah. But especially on a what would you call them? A spinny boy. Yeah. I do need to reinstall, but that's just because I plopped one install from one PC to pretty much a whole new one with how many parts I changed. Interesting, yeah. I don't feel that need so much with what I'm currently using, but yeah, with Windows it felt like. And not so much with more recent versions of Windows, or maybe I'm just getting old and like I don't have time for that shit anymore. But like reinstalling once a month. But I did feel like that was it had to be a constant, or it had to be a frequent thing when I was back in the day, for sure. Spinning Rust, I guess so, yeah. Spent hours looking at an ME defrag window, the squares. I know exactly what you mean. I was the same, but with a Windows 98 defrag window. My mother would like get that running, and I'd be like, "Can I use the computer?" And she's like, "It's still defragging," and I'm like, "Aww," Good times. I remember spinning Rust hard drives. What a hell on Windows? Why does it spin randomly? What's the deal with spinning hard drives? Yeah. Yeah. Not good. I understand they were let's say a necessary evil, spinning disks back in the day, but man, it does feel like running an OS. I mean, they're still good for like large storage, but running an OS on them now is like I'd rather shit in my hands and clap. Remember when hard drives actually made noise? Yeah. I have a NAS that's full of spinning drives, but it's on the other side of my apartment from my actual computer, so I don't hear it. My actual computer just has 2 SSDs in it. I use hard drives for storing games and shit. Yeah, absolutely. Hard drives are still best bang for the buck for like the gigabyte, but like running an OS on them it just seems like torture now. The fact that we did that for so long is unbelievable. yeah, but I still like drives. I still like hard drives, in the sense of like I like cheap per gigabyte storage. I have a lot of storage in my NAS. My plan is at some point I'm going to use that NAS for more like archival stuff. I'm gonna go on a bit of a soapbox here. I'd love to start to maintain a collection of like every, I don't know, let's say for example, every original Xbox game ever made, and just for the sake of preservation. And I know that there are a lot of websites that do this already. You can already find the whole redump set on archive.org, and you can already find the whole set on like Miriant and stuff like that. Heckin' big, I know. It would certainly be at least a few terabytes, but I like the idea of being part of a preservation effort, as in being part of the storage for it. But I also think I have a concern about some websites like the ones that we use to get ROMs from a lot of the time, because they kind of feel like they're a central point of failure. Like as soon as someone comes along and DMCA's, you know, an archive.org link, it'll just disappear frequently. It'll just disappear. And I feel like a lot of websites are in danger. A lot of centralized like ROM sites are in danger of that. Like if authorities will raid the Pirate Bay servers, then they could raid any of these servers. And I kind of feel like the way to, if you want to preserve some of this old stuff, I feel like it might make sense to put more emphasis on decentralizing a lot of this stuff. Like I like BitTorrent a lot, and not necessarily for the purposes of torrenting, but because it decentralizes both the storage of the objects and the bandwidth, so you don't have to so it's not, there's no one central point of failure, and you can also take advantage of a lot of bandwidth to get the stuff faster. That's always a problem with archive.org, is it's always pretty slow. Actually, it's been a lot better recently, but it's always pretty slow, and then no one seeds the torrents, so the torrents are often not much faster. But like, yeah, so I feel like ideally preservation would be a decentralized like community effort rather than just like one centralized point of failure. But IPFS is cool. You basically can't delete anything once it's posted. Imagine sending a nude. I should look into stuff like that, because the big downside of torrents, I think, is, let's say you make a whole like OG Xbox collection, and then you find a new game. You're like, oh shit, there's this rare game that was released in, I don't know, Bangladesh, and I guess we should add this to the collection. You can't add files to torrents once they're created. Once they're made, they're like static. So I think the concern is, so the process would be like, okay, so you decommission the old torrent by, you like unlist the old torrent, but you can't get rid of it, because other people will still be seeding it, and then you can put a new torrent in its place. But then how do you make sure that all the people seeding it get the new torrent? Well, realistically, you can't. They're all going to be stuck on, well, there's always going to be some of them stuck on the old torrent, because they just won't know, they won't get the update, or they'll say, oh, I'll update it, but they don't get around to it. And like, maybe that's just a necessary evil, or maybe that's just like a not evil, but necessary like downside or something like that. But yeah, there may be better solutions than BitTorrent. Basically, all I think is that, yeah, I just feel like I get a little nervous at these centralized points of failure for preservation. I feel like, I mean, archive.org I think is big enough that it can fight off a lot of these, a lot of potential concerns. But other sites, I'm not sure. Like, who runs Vim's Lair, and how much money do they have to support their website? I don't know. And like, it might be perfectly fine, but I don't know. But what happens if the authorities raid Vim's Lair? Then is it all just gone? Who is Vim and what's in their lair? Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, I've just made up a name just for no reason. But yeah. With how many ROMs I am Vim's lair. True. Yeah, I feel like it'd be great to be able to at least get a couple, at least start with like me and maybe a couple friends around the world, you know, building these archives of stuff and decentralizing the storage so that there's no like there's no central point of failure if something gets like DMCA'd or something like that. I don't know. I just think that would be, yeah. Like I said, it just makes me nervous, this idea of relying on sites that could easily go down. I've seen a lot of websites go down in my day. Anyway, Nutella was greatness in that way. I actually don't know anything about Nutella. But yeah, anyway, that's all I'm trying to say. Host torrents? Yeah, I mean, I might. I haven't determined what the best way to do this, and obviously it's time consuming. You have to collect all the stuff. Don't forget to archive all the different language variants of Lego Island. Hey, I mean, I've kind of done a bit of that. If you go on to, let me see, how do I actually get to my, how does this website actually work? Yeah, so I already had them on the LegoIsland.org site for a while, but it turns out LegoIsland.org doesn't show up in a lot of search results. People don't know that we actually do host a lot of stuff on LegoIsland.org. So I reposted them to archive.org if you want all the language versions, at least as far as we know. At least we're not aware of any other versions. I think this is all of them. And yeah, it's probably good to. I don't know. I should make sure if I seed this torrent. As long as I seed this, if I'm seeding this torrent, that's probably a good idea as well. But yeah, IPFS is what you want, and then people can either run their own IPFS client or use a public gateway. Cloudflare runs an IPFS gateway. I'll definitely look into that. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that then, because like I said, I think that would just be kind of cool to have a preservation effort that's more decentralized. Yeah. How do I get a Do in Your Mom or BillGates.sex? Let's add a command for this. Adcom mail. Or should it be email? So in theory, if we all just seeded the torrent, then we're good. It's basically transparent BitTorrent. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'll read about that after the stream. Okay, there we go. So if you type in !mail, you'll get a link now to sign up. But you need to be a Twitch sub or a patron to get accounts. But you can have one account per domain per user. So if you want a Bill Gates and a Do in Your Mom, you can get both per account. Alias, please. No, what if we need to use what if we need to use mail for something else later on, for some actual hot man-on-man action, right? What happens when your subscription runs out? No, you only need the subscription to join. You don't need the subscription to have the account. It's just for the sign up. So yeah, it's an anti-spam measure. Just make sure that like random people from Nigeria can't sign up can't bot like 1,000 accounts and start, you know, get spamming with my domains and getting them blocked from every major like email website. So so yeah, it's just I like to call it a minimum barrier to entry to just weed out like the lowest common denominator. Get unknown error. You'd probably have to let me know what you typed in, which would be unfortunate because you have to tell me your password. Well, at least you could tell me your well, I don't know. It's maybe send me like an email or a DM or something like that. I can try and troubleshoot it. They can, but they got to sub 1,000 times. True. So at least if they do it, I'm getting like I'm getting a good deal out of it. Yeah. Gmail and Yahoo both flag emails from these domains as spam. did I? Maybe I didn't set up the DMARC on these domains yet. I set them up on my other ones. Let me just check, because if that's true, I need to do that. That's something I actually do need to do. Because they shouldn't be. Alright. Doing your dot mom. I do have DMARC and SPIF on there. Maybe they're I'll have to test that a little later on, because they shouldn't be getting hit. But actually, hang on, let's find out. Email. Oh, actually, I can do this on stream. Why not? Email spam tester. I think it's this one. Yeah, okay, so basically what I'm gonna do is from my email, I'll send an email out to this address, and it'll tell me why an email of mine may be getting hit as spam. Hi, just testing the spam. What up? It's your boy, Clive. Cleve. Just wanted to know what you think of my new email domain. The reason I'm actually going to the effort of writing a real domain is because spam filters also look at the contents of the email to see if it's likely to be spam or not. Email domain. Thanks, Matt. I think it's pretty cool. What do you think? Thanks, Matt. Alright, let's check my score. Cleve. Cleve wants to ask you a question. Gmail's working fine with doing your mom over here. Yeah, it might be something to do with the, yeah, see? Look at that. It might be just something to do with the kinds of emails you're sending. Message has a DKIM, or maybe something to do with like the accounts, your accounts being, what would I call it? Like having high spam filters or something like that. But apparently it should be, unless they just randomly block .mom and .sex domains, which is also possible. Oh, apparently I needed an HTML version of my message, my bad. But yeah, the SPIF is working, the DKIM is, then the DMARC is all good. Should be fine, but I mean, we'll see. We'll keep testing. 10 out of 10 for spam, or 10 out of 10 legitimate. 10 out of 10 legitimate. It says, wow, perfect, you can send. Your lovely total, 10 out of 10. Yeah, it means as far as this site is concerned, nothing about my email looked like spam. I want to open these, but I also understand that how easy it would be for someone to send me Goatsy and for me to open it on stream. So let's be a little careful about that. You think HTML mail would rank worse? Maybe, but maybe non-HTML mail is more likely to be used by spammers. I don't know. Many institutions would block .sex domains. Yeah, almost certainly. Just because even if it's legitimate, you're not gonna have anything family friendly on a .sex domain, right? Even if it's not spam, it's probably not something that you're gonna want. Open them off stream. Yeah, I mean I can, but all right, no, it's fine. Yo, paste, doing your mom enjoyer, excellent. And this just says egg, which I mean, fair enough. Hell yeah. Actually, I'll reply. Alright, where were we with this whole Patreon shit? So we get the token. It should then say logged in with Patreon. Allow. Logged in with Patreon. No? Alright, I might have to go back to doing this off stream. Real quick. Oh, actually, I think I just need to refresh. Allow. Okay, there we go. Logged in with Patreon. So, okay, that's the front end down. We just need to work on the back end now. Yo, working on that back end. Enough with the front end. Now for the back end. Alright, anyway. Submit. Alright, so Patreon. We're going to use the fuck. Ah shit, we need to like damn it. We need to use this stuff back here as well. I wonder, is it gonna break things if I Is it gonna break things? I need the Patreon API in a parent directory, but is it gonna break things if I just move it? I don't know how Composer works. Oh god. Get Premiere working earlier? No, we're gonna do that later. I'm doing them in reverse order. Oh fuck. PHP Composer uninstall or like move? Can I move PHP Composer packages to a parent directory? Oh god, I have to learn a whole package manager now. Oh, anyway. Patreon is not finished yet. No, it's not. We're literally doing that now, yeah. Port audio is supposed to work on Windows 95, correct? Is that true? I actually don't know that. I actually don't know if that's true. Somebody said Gmail allows it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend a lot on like your settings as well, like your spam filter settings. So it's probably going to be different for everyone, but it should be, you should, like both domains are set up such that you should be able to send to just, or at least if your receiving mail service is judging on the email itself alone, and not looking at like, what the hell is doing your mom or billgates.sex. If it's on the email alone, it should be relatively authenticated. Solution is to install DaVinci Resolve. Let me know when they have AAC codec support. And even in the paid version, they don't have AAC codec support yet. Anyway. The old issue of having 7 different package managers for 3 apps. Fucking snap. Oh god. No, I'm having to learn the PHP package manager, which is a real pain in the ass. Oops. Oh god. I'm gonna take a stab at seeing if I can actually just move the files and then I don't have to worry about it. Of stabbing files. True. Okay, so if I really do, all right. Okay, so here's the current problem I'm having. I installed the Patreon API library here. Now I realize I actually need this stuff here as well. Is it valid for me to just move it? Is that gonna screw everything up? I wanted to use Resolve on Linux, for some reason it has a problem with my GPU, so I have to use Olive. Hey, well, I'd love to, if only Olive was done. Who uses AAC anyway? Go to decision of Blackmagic Design. True, based, excellent. I love having access to less codecs. When I happen to, if I ever happen to need a codec, I love not having access to it. Anyway, so I'm gonna fuck my whole life up by just moving these down here and see if it actually works at all. It's probably not. It's probably not gonna work at all. But we'll find out, I suppose. Haven't checked out Olive in ages. Me neither. I'm kidding. I've checked out Olive recently. I'm all too aware about Olive, unfortunately. I have some ideas for Olive. It's just I don't know if they'll ever actually happen. Composer is amazing because it's actually made for people who use PHP for everything but web development. Is that true? Pretty sure AAC does work with DaVinci Resolve. It doesn't, because I own DaVinci Resolve and I know it doesn't. On Linux, let me be specific. On Linux, it probably does support it on Windows and it probably does support it on Windows and Mac OS, but it does not support it on Linux, even the paid version. Olive has a very odd bug where it just crashes if you navigate left after having made a cut. Interesting. I have no idea what that would be. It's been such a long time since I looked at the code base. Winix. True! Taking a real W. Winix. That's what I call it. I wish it didn't even run on my PC. Okay, in fairness, look, I'm gonna talk about codecs for a second here, because in fairness, because I wrote a whole damn video editor. In fairness to DaVinci Resolve, it is not technically their fault that they don't have H.264 or AAC in the Linux versions. The reason why is because H.264 is a patented codec. It's a you have to pay a license to use it. If you're a libx264 user, which is arguably the best H.264 encoder, we've got more 80s 80s rock going on. It's actually the same song again. Do people using WSL call it Winix? With what would Lindows look like? I feel like there was actually something called Lindows at some point. Yeah, there is actually something called Lindows. It was an actual distro at one point. Was Lindows? I think Lindows was designed to. Yeah, it's a Linux-based OS that's capable of running Windows. So yeah, it was that was real. Lindows was real at one point. Yeah. So what I was saying. So okay. So DaVinci, or Blackmagic specifically. To be fair to them, H.264 is a patented codec. It is actually difficult to get H.264, yes, and H.265 or Havoc into your software. Now, X264 and X265, which are libraries that can encode and decode these codecs, are open source. However, they're only free if your project is GPL, which means your project is open source. If your project is closed source or not GPL, you must pay a license. They no longer say what the license costs, but 5 years ago when I checked, the license cost, I think, it might have been $10,000. It was $10,000. I don't know if that was a flat rate or if it was per year. It's probably more than that. The reason why they probably don't quote an actual figure is because it probably depends a lot on your actual like software program. Like if you're a millionaire, if you're Adobe, they'll probably charge you more than like the average like a smaller program. And arguably, yeah, so H.264 and H.265 are both patented. They're not royalty free. So what the way that DaVinci Resolve gets around this is that on Windows, well, Microsoft has actually paid for a license for H.264 already, because that's what they needed to do to get H.264 decoding to work in Windows. So they have a license. So on Windows, DaVinci Resolve will use the operating system's H.264 decoders and encoders. On the Mac, Apple too has paid for licenses for these codecs. They so on the Mac, the DaVinci Resolve will use the existing system codecs. On Linux, no one has paid for these codecs. No one has paid these licenses because the OS is free. It's all open source, and unless you, I I mean, unless a distro of Linux specifically decided to pay for the licenses, they do not exist on the system. They can't use libx264, which is in FFmpeg. They can't use that because their program is not GPL. So what you have to do on Linux is you have to buy the paid version of DaVinci Resolve to get H.264. Because in the paid version, then Blackmagic is the one that buys the H.264 license. However, they still do not buy the AAC license for some reason. Maybe it's too expensive, or maybe like it's not enough. Maybe they don't think there's enough demand for it. But essentially, I understand that they're in a tough spot, considering that they are making a closed source product, a relatively cheap closed source product, and so they can't take advantage of the open source implementations of these patented codecs. So they have to pay the real licenses to get codecs for these or to get libraries for these codecs. I understand that, but still. Doesn't help me, because someone who does need to use AAC every now and then. That's why you can't edit H.265 files without buying H.265 from Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, almost certainly that's why. When the price isn't listed, it's for rich people or businesses only. When you have to talk to someone, you know shit's going down. Yeah, when you actually have to, when they're actually paying money for someone to quote you a price, you know they're making a lot of money off you, for sure. On Linux, you're supposed to compile the decoder yourself. It's easy, right? Just clone the repo, download the 1,679 dependencies, and fix the 345 errors. The thing is, it's not even that simple, because one of the limitations or one of the restrictions of the GPL is that you cannot mix and match GPL code with non-GPL code. You're not allowed to do it. So even if you compiled X264 yourself, you're actually, you, the consumer, are probably allowed to merge the two together as long as you don't distribute it, as long as it's like Richard Stallman doesn't find out. But you're not allowed to distribute that. You're not allowed to like encourage people to do that. GPL is racist.
Tier 100 GPL is racist.
Yeah. I think it's just for decoding. For encoding, vocoder could work, even though that might be Windows only. I don't know. I mean, for encoding, yeah, I'd be happy to use like a royalty-free encoder. I could use like VPX and Opus, or VP9 and Opus, and put that out to YouTube. YouTube would support that. So I don't really have an issue with encoding. It's really just decoding, just importing the stuff into the edit. I don't like to transcode, because firstly, it takes a lot of time, and secondly, you lose quality almost necessarily unless you transcode to a lossless format, but no one does that because it would take up an unbelievable amount of space. I guess not with audio. You could conceivably transcode a lot of audio to WAV and like still have storage space, but it's still a pain in the ass. So yeah, but the thing is, it's not even that. It's not even as simple as you could compile the library and merge it in with the non-GPL code, because strictly you're not allowed to do that. You're actually not even allowed to have a GPL program and use a closed source library in it. I ran into this problem writing Olive, is that I wanted to use some closed source libraries, but Olive is GPL, and you're actually not allowed to do that. It's any mixture of closed source software with GPL software is technically not allowed. That's why the LGPL exists, the lesser GPL, which basically the only difference between it and the GPL is that you are allowed to mix, closed source stuff with open source stuff, but a lot of people don't agree with that. So a lot of people only release their code under GPL. For example, if I wanted to use X264, arguably the best H.264 encoder, but I made my software not GPL, then if I made my software not GPL so I could mix it with a closed source library, well, X264 is still GPL. So I've made an illegal merging of two non-GPL codes and one GPL code. So essentially, really big pain, really unfortunate. Yeah, so I understand the bind that DaVinci Resolve is in. Being a non-GPL code base, you don't get to use any open source codec libraries. But anyway, it's so yeah, I get it. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I still need to import AAC every now and then. Just don't use any license. True. Because even the MIT and BSD licenses they're like somewhat more compatible with the GPL, but strictly like the reason people like the GPL is because it's considered a viral license, because it forces not only your software but all of the other software that uses your software to be open source. People like that because it forces people to use open source software, but it can lead to situations, to really unfortunate situations where even people trying to do the right thing get restricted. Obviously, it's good to limit people from taking advantage of free open source stuff. Obviously, we can all get behind that, but it becomes so strict that it even restricts what people trying to do the right thing have to do. Putting a GPL on my decomp projects. True. The do whatever the fuck you want to license. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that... well, I mean, the MIT and BSD licenses are kind of like that, at least with no clauses. But, yeah, anyway. Doesn't force shit, it just makes it not appealing to use. Legally, it's supposed to force things. Whether it actually does in practice, I mean, a lot of people do violate the GPL and they don't get like sued for it, because they'd have to get sued for it. But yeah, nobody really cares for my codes, so why not GPL? Do you mean I'm trying to understand what you mean, as in no one cares, so you should make it GPL, or no one cares, so there's no point in making it GPL? Because the only reason to have GPL is if someone does care about your code, or if you think people do care about your code. Who's going to sue me? Linus Torvalds? No, the Free Software Foundation would sue you in theory, or the maintainers of the software, because if they license something under GPL and you violate that license, in theory they are legally, like, if you use FFmpeg, for example, in its GPL mode, in your non-GPL software, in theory FFmpeg could sue you because you violated their license, or at least it's not their license. They didn't write it, but it is the license that they put that they released their software under. So in theory, you're violating the license they released the software under. But most people don't. Most people don't sue because it's a lot of work. Richard Stallman breaks into your house and forces you to listen to a 20-minute presentation on GNU/Herd. Yeah, probably does. We've gone over this before. That it's a good meme, the whole GNU/Linux thing, but at the same time, I do get it that like it would be annoying if I'd spent like the whole 80s and 90s writing, an open source version of Unix, essentially implementing all the parts of the OS except for the kernel, and then some guy comes along with a kernel called Linux, and then everyone just names the whole thing after this kernel that came at the end. I get why that's irritating, when there's so much work went into all the other stuff. At the same time, I don't want to call anything GNU. I feel like he would have such an easier time making that argument if the solution wasn't you're supposed to call it GNU. Like, people say Linux because it's a fun name to say. It's just fun. It's good. It's a good brand. If GNU was a better, if there was a better brand than GNU, then I think it would be much easier to convince people to call it that instead. Fucking GNU. Gonna boot my GNU. That's right. Proud GNU user here. A GNUser. Jesus. I personally prefer titty shlongs. God, I mean, I actually feel like that would probably be easier to convince people to say. Yeah. Why does RMS hate paying for software? It makes it so much harder to outright fighting against people trying to fund their work. My guess is he comes from the kind of flower child movement from the 60s, where everyone kind of shared everything. You know, you shared your weed, you shared your food, you shared your money. It's kind of an idealized version of communism, right? Or Marxism, to each according to his ability. No, from each according to his ability to each according to his need. You know, it's a nice idea. Whether it has any like practicality or not, I mean, that's a topic. That's a debate for another day. Yeah, Stallman is a hippie. He's just yeah, I think he's comes from the flower. He's a flower child from the 60s. So yeah. Sharing is great when we don't live in a capitalistic hellhole. Well, yeah, like I said, whether it's realistic, whether that's a realistic thing to push for in this in this current day and age, I don't know. That's a topic for another day. RMS was lucky enough to create a career out of the hobbyist community, and he doesn't seem to understand this is an option for everyone. Yeah, I could see that argument. Yeah, I think in the ideal world, the software would be free, and you know, I mean, in the ideal world that he's positing, the software would be free, and the food and the rent would be free. It wouldn't be but the developers have to eat. I think that's kind of the position he's coming from. But yeah, anyway. So, oh gosh, where was I? I've gone on a big old tangent. Right, I was going to see if I could. So I had this use Patreon / okay. So what I might have to do is, rather than I might have to do like, oops, like. Actually, is that correct? Yes. So, So we go back to here and we go vendor, auto load, and I think then we can do that. I think that's permissible. And then we'll do the same here. Just because it makes things a little bit easier. And include, what is it? It's callback /patreon /config.php. It's probably not the neatest thing to do, but whatever. Okay. And so now with that, PHP. I've not seen PHP code in 10 or 15 years. I assume it's a little saner than then. Prepare to be disappointed. No, I think they have. In the last 10 years or so, I think they have tried to make it a much more consistent standard, but there certainly is a lot of legacy cruft from before they were trying to do that still lying around. PHP to USD? Was that Filipino peso? Is that is that what that is? Patron response. Okay, so alright, so yeah, we need to get one of these. Access token, sure. So we're actually gonna grab yeah, auth mode and auth token, so it's gonna be this. Fetch user. At this point, you can do anything with the user return. For example, if there is no return for this user, then you can consider the user not logged into Patreon. Okay, so if no patron response, throw error, invalid token probably. All right. A tangent in this stream, blasphemy. Yeah, if there's anything I'm known for, it's staying on one topic at all times and never going on down any rabbit holes or exploring anything unrelated to what I'm doing. Yeah. Could rename the channel to Clive K Tangent. I like how it's not even there's not even any Matt in there anymore. It's just I'm just Clive and then K Tangent. Yeah, right, you're right. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna print it to see what happens, but I might have to do this off stream again because I don't know what information it's going to show yet. Yeah, I just might have to see what happens. It's Patreon. Yeah, that's correct. That's all good. PHP is a lot of people's first language, but at what cost? You could argue PHP was my first language. I mean, strictly, my first language was actually, I think it's called Object Pascal, because the first thing I wrote programs in was Delphi 4. Wonderful program, a lot of fun. It's a really fun because it makes user interfaces really easy. So you can just like create buttons and text documents, and I would just pretend I was making a video game. I would be like, haha, look, you can press the button and it does things. So that's always fun. And I think that in strictly the language is Object Pascal, which is an object-oriented variant of Pascal. But I don't know if I ever was really good at writing it. The way that I would write code back then, like I would just write to make stuff appear on the screen, which I guess you could argue is a lot of web development as well. But I would just be like, you know, on button click. This is pseudocode. I would just be like, you know, if shape1 dot visible equals true, then shape1 dot visible equals false. Else shape1 dot visible equals equals true. Like, and that's how I would do a toggle. Even though, you know, there's obviously better ways to do this. That's how I would write the code. And so I don't know if I would. Technically, this is my first programming language, but I don't know if I ever really did any real programming in it. I just did dumb shit like this, right? Or like message box. You clicked it. Like just like really small things like that. I never really did anything complex. The first time I started doing complex things was definitely PHP. Yeah. What is real programming if not dumb shit? You know what? True. I can't argue with that. Yeah. That is a development style. Everything is centered around what is on screen. Yeah, I mean, true. Okay, so... Alright, so I'm gonna test this off stream. I just want to see what it actually prints. I don't think it's gonna print anything like weird. I just want to make sure, Alright, what do we get? Oh, no? Nothing, apparently. Oh. Got an internal server error, that's unfortunate. Oh, I need to start printing errors, yeah. Is this, oh god, this might be like, yeah. I might have to move this down to make it easier. Or make it less, less slow. VB6? Oh no. Facebook's defunct PHP to C transpiler. Oh yeah, they did have. I do remember reading a long time ago that like Facebook was predominantly, the backend was predominantly C, which is, I mean, I've done that. I've made a C++ web backend. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to think about. It's unusual for sure. All right. So what error is this? What are we failing on? Hello. I'll mute the tab because I know people are gonna get sick of that sound after a while. Weird. Never. Well, you know what? True. I'm so proud of this community. Interesting. I'm getting unknown errors now too. Why is that? What if I'm even if I'm logged in with even if I'm logged in with Twitch? Damn it, I have to log in with Twitch again. Hang on, I'll test this on my host. I don't have to log in again. Also, I don't know why sometimes it appears really far right. I'll have to figure that out as well. That's right, it's become a Republican. Unknown error. Is everyone getting unknown error right now? Oh no, this is correct. Twitch is still working. Yeah. It's just Patreon that isn't right now. Isn't yet. Okay. Let's. I guess I'll keep debugging this. Switch. Patreon. All right. Print. It might just be it can't get the API. Okay, yeah, I just can't get the API yet. Oh, yeah, my bad. Actually broke this somehow. Okay, let's try that. Jesus, alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gonna print everything now. Unknown error. I might have to like do some composer shit maybe. Anyway, sorry, what's going on in chat? The IRS have COBOL mainframe programs from the 60s? Damn, I'm sure they do. I know that I've heard that, you know, trains that were set up in the late 90s, like 1999, they still run Windows 95 because never been any need to update them. They haven't had to replace the trains yet. I remember reading that in the 2010s, the Facebook Android client was so massive because they were auto-code-genning their entire API into Java. I had to patch APKs together. Oh god, really? Wild. VB6 is a paradise compared to how I made a bunch of money in the mid-2000s. Visual Basic for applications running in Excel. All the fun of VB6 with none of the tooling. Yeah, that's kind of wild that you could write code in Excel or like PowerPoint or Word, like actual programming. Weird. Got an unknown error, but I think it's because the email already exists. Yeah, that's possible. That's definitely possible. Do you hear that Excel is getting Python built in now? I didn't hear that, but I guess it makes sense. Python is like the everyman language now. Alright, I'm gonna try this again. What the Oh god, okay. Patreon, API. It's never as simple as I think it's gonna be. Alright, let's see if that works. No. Huh? Why are we... Oh, Jesus. Maybe I have to have this up here. So unbelievably weird that this is happening. Okay. Alright, I figured it out. Cool. Alright, everything's working now. Ignore all of my complaining before. I just have to now see how to get memberships. I think that's how it'll work. So I go Patreon response, data, relationships, memberships. I'm looking at the code now. Where is it? Yeah, I can go back to the screen now. I don't think there's anything. Yeah. So, all right. Resource endpoints, identity. So the response type is gonna so gonna be data, relationships. I think there's memberships and then data, but that's not on here for some reason. Damn it! It's not in this example. Fuck. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to be off stream again, so I can do it. I can get the object myself again. Copy. Okay. I'm looking at my own stats. I think this is all public anyway, but like, yeah. Okay, so I have my attributes, I have my ID, I have relationships. I wish. Included attributes. Oh no, I guess it'd be included then. What are all of these? Former patron, active patron. Interesting. So I'd have to get like the ID of my campaign, I think. Since we're just looking at you, any new major updates on the decomp? No, there can't really be any, because like a decomp is just, it's just work. It's not necessarily like there are any milestones. It's just you keep decompiling. You keep doing it until it's over. Like you just do function, next function, next function, next function. There's never really any. I mean, I guess there can be breakthroughs for sure. There can be things that we get caught up on in breakthroughs. But I don't know if they're like, they're not necessarily huge, I suppose. We did find that there's this header. We found for a lot of the like matrix and vector calculations, there are, we learned that they're using a common, like a public vector header, like something you can just get. And that's useful because it means that we don't have to decompile a lot of those matrix calculations, which is very useful, very helpful. I love not having to decompile stuff, but yeah, so that's the most recent thing I can think of is that, yeah, we found one of the headers that they used, and that we found it's a publicly accessible thing that we can just put into our code base. First coding I ever did was in Merc scripting language. Oh, MIRC. Man, how long has it been since I've used MIRC? Probably 13 years. Yeah, hot minute for sure. All right. Former patron. I've been a former patron of a lot of things. And then I have this relationships object. I might be getting more information though, because memberships, member. Why am I a member of all these things? Okay, so I'm currently a member of this campaign. So I just need to get my campaign ID, I think. Get my Patreon campaign ID. I guess I have to get it through the API, right? Campaign. No. Ugh, alright, fine. I'll just have to write some more code to get my campaign ID, and I have to do it all off stream again, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to write, gonna have to add another scope to get my campaign information. What a real campaign in the ass. Alright. So, identity, campaign. You have the campaign scope. I think I just have to add campaigns like that. Scope equals optional list. Are they space separated, or how are they separated? Shit, it doesn't say the scopes. Patreon API scopes list. I just need an example, right? This optional parameter will default to users pledges to me my campaign, which fetches user profile information, pledges to your creator, and your creator info. Pledges to me. Huh. Really? So if I make the scope actually pledges to me, does that actually work? Hang on, I'm gonna try that real quick. No, it doesn't. Man, why is the... It does look like it's space separated. So if I go my campaign... Why is... the Patreon API is actually kind of weird, I feel like. I feel like it's not very well documented. Auth token. Ugh. Alright, yeah, it was working better before. I think it is space separated. Okay. I pledge my allegiance. That's good. That's always good. Allow. Yeah. Wait, what was that? It said... Oh, public information about your page. That's okay. Alright. So what are we getting now? So under included, I should get my campaign now. Oh, except I didn't, shit. I hate having to do all this off stream, because I know that, like, it's so unhelpful for you guys. But I just know that, like, this is probably not stuff I should be showing. User details. Fetch user. The PHP API is also not very well documented. Fetch user. Cool, whatever. Alright, and now looking at the API. Fetch campaigns, that's what I want to do. Okay, let's try that. Oh, really? That's the idea of my campaign? I have one, yeah. Okay, apparently that's my campaign ID. It's not how all the other campaign IDs worked. I don't think I have to hide the campaign ID, so I'll leave that in the code for now. Maybe it's because my campaign is so... Okay, you can probably... I can use my imagination. I'm picturing the scrolling hacker text. Actually, you should overlay that when you do stuff like this. Yeah, maybe I should. Then you can get an idea of what I'm doing. Memberships, I guess, is what I want. Memberships. Include memberships, yeah. Member ID. Oh, I see. Maybe it's giving me the membership rather than the actual campaign. So if I was to say... okay. So if I was to say fetch member details... Jesus. Included is an array. Okay. So I think how this would work is we'll go dot included. I'll do a for each. For each. Membership. If membership type equals member, as opposed to former member. Oh no, I have to look at it in attributes actually. Attributes. I can probably show you this stuff. This probably doesn't matter. All right, let's go. So here I'm writing this is my campaign ID apparently. And these are things I've been a patron of in the past. This is former patron. So for each of these objects, I'm going to check attributes, patron status, just to make sure it's active patron. Oops. Active patron, not former. And then check if the ID. I'm gonna have to use like fetch member details, I think. API client, fetch member details, membership ID. And I guess I'll just print that and see what it says. Sure, why not? I think this is all public information anyway. Okay. Oh god. Data campaign, data ID. Okay. So I have to just say member details equals that. If member details, I'll copy this so that I can read it better. What? Why can't I? Alright, copy. What? Since when could I not copy? Copy, no, like, why is there no copy? Alright, fine, do I have to just like, how do I okay, fine. Alright, so we have an object. Object data, don't care about attributes, don't care about ID. Got some stuff in included, which is, alright, so this is user, this is tier, this is campaign. I guess what I can do is just say data, relationships, campaign, data ID, I think. Member details. Sounds like he's I'm having nose problems again. I've had a stuffy nose for the last couple of days, and I don't know why. It could indeed be the copious amounts of cocaine I'm taking, but surely it can't be that. Surely it's got to be just like, you know, just got COVID or something. Data, relationships. Campaign, data, ID. God, that's such a long run-on like thing. Equals Patreon campaign ID. We'll do found equals false, then found equals true, and break. If not found, we'll throw error, invalid subscription. Oh yeah, we do have a yeah, at some point I'll have a I'll catch errors like if someone already has made that domain before. The fall is hitting my allergies, but I'm in a place with seasons and not California. Yeah, I don't know if it's allergies. I mean, I guess it could be, but I don't know what it is. How's it going? We're getting there. And if found, then I guess we're good to go. I guess we can just say, and we just make the email then. Patreon, oh. Auth mode, this we'll have to fix. Email, domain, password. This we have to get the user ID, but we do get it from here, so so I'll just print that again. Whatever. It is ID. Okay, data ID, I think. Alright. Response data ID, I think. I think so. Let's print that first and just make sure. And let's rename this. It's actually a really terrible variable name. Call it user details. What? Why is it still printing all that? Oh, it's because I didn't remove this. Invalid subscription. Ah, true. Because I'm not subscribed to myself. I just want to make sure it's getting the ID though. Yep, that looks like my ID. So that should be good to go. Let me just check. What are the possible values of this? Oh, and I can finally get rid of the campaign scope. Don't need that anymore. Active patron. Status equals null. Patron status. What kind of website design is this? Alright. Active patron, declined patron, former patron. Null value indicates the member has never been pledged. Can be null. Okay. Cool. Alright. Fellow chatters. Let me know if you can do this. Let me know if you can log in with Patreon and create an email account. When are we getting the legally required option to delete our account and wipe all our data? I guess there should be at some point. We don't have any control panel, so like, not yet. We can't. So you can't change your password or yeah, or delete all your data. I guess at some point we will need to do that. Well. Yeah, let's see if it works. I think it'll work. I think that's everything. Gonna have to report you to the EU for this grave sin against us. No. Well, the good news is I don't use any cookies on this site. I mean, Roundcube probably uses some cookies to store like login information, but it doesn't actually. I don't think it sells any data. Well, I don't sell any data, so there you go. I got unknown error. Okay. Oh, that actually might be okay. That might just be because I'm printing stuff. Was the email account created? Like if you try to if you try to log into the actual mail service, can you use the details? Or does it not let you log in? Yeah, I don't have a Patreon account. I don't have a secondary Patreon account that is subscribed to me with that I can use. I can test this with. Can anyone actually log into like Roundcube? Like, I got bored at school today and modified the mail. Oh yeah, I did see that. I like it a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna use it because I haven't decided if like what I actually want the link tree to look like. I mean, it could be that, but I'm almost wondering if I could like if I should do something different for the next thing. You know what I mean? But it did look good. Maybe you could use it for something something of your own. So the people who signed up to Patreon, or the people who tried to create an account with Patreon, and it said unknown error, can you guys try to log into Roundcube and see if it created, if it created the account, but didn't, but just threw unknown error for no reason? I'm having trouble, but I'm also an idiot. What is Roundcube? That's the actual mail client. I don't think it'll work for you because it said invalid subscription, but I'm wondering if it created the account anyway. For the people who it said unknown error for, I'm wondering if it created the account anyway. What mail link? It's like, hang on. It's to use webmail, it's just the same URL but without join at the end. And okay, login fail. Okay, good to know. So that just means it didn't. That confirms it didn't make the actual account. Okay, hang on a sec. Let me look at the the database real quick. See what it actually did. Login failed. Okay. Okay. Seems like that's correct. Well, that seems like that's accurate at the moment. Unknown error. I wonder why. Ugh. This becomes kind of difficult because I need a Patreon account to like show that so I can get a working example. Can't you look at the DBA say the users were created? I already did, and I know the users weren't created. We're already past that. I'm up to why are the users not being created, and I don't know that yet. Yeah, but this is where it gets tough because I need like a Patreon. I need like access to an actual account so I would know what it would say, what it would say correctly. Or, I mean, I hope that seems to be what I need. I hope I don't need that, so I can do it easier, more easily. You can use mine. Yeah, I might have to. All right, I'm gonna send Tingle some instructions on Discord, and I'm going to, so I can hopefully figure out what it's actually saying. Sorry, I have to do all this off stream, but it's just because it's gonna have information in it that probably well it may not, but I don't know. It's probably not information I should be sharing. Okay, so I'm going to re-enable errors. Actually, the instructions are relatively simple. I could just say on stream, but the thing is, people shouldn't send them to me publicly. Tingles can DM them to me. Just when it says unknown error, open your browser console and send me the long error message. The probably long error message. All right, so. We're gonna see if we can get some useful information out of this. To open the browser console, press F12. Yeah, or Control Shift C, if you're. But I'm specifically asking Tingles to do it so he can DM me the info, because if people just start posting the info in chat, that's probably not a good thing. I mean, it's probably not necessarily dangerous. It's just like. Probably. It's like posting your email in chat. You probably just shouldn't do it, right? Yes, this is what I hate about working with the Patreon API, no sandbox. Yep, seems like it. Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, and not a lot of test data. Like, when I go to the thing I'm using, it doesn't have all of the data that I get when I run this this call, so yeah, it ends up not being, the examples end up not being very helpful. Are you a one key switch kind of guy, or do you mix and match for different keys / reasons? I mostly stick to blue switches just because I mostly type at my computer. Like if I was a gamer, like a real hardcore gamer, I guess I'd use red switches, but because I mostly type and because I like the click clack sound of blue switches, I mostly stick to blue switches. Really wanted to make an Alt F4 joke, but that was yeah, to open up the browser console, you gotta delete System32, press Control Alt Delete, and unplug the power cord. Oh. None of that is what I was hoping for. Control Shift W. If you're on a Mac, Command Q is pretty good. RM-RF/, that's good. No, I probably just like forgot some instructions. Thought about switching to a custom keyboard. When I see a $150 price tag, I say nah, mine is fine. Yeah, the keyboards do get pretty expensive. You know, I've been looking at for a while. I could see myself buying something like the new Model M's, these. I know people say that the build quality isn't quite as good as it was back in the 80s, but whatever. I think it'd still be fun. I could see myself, these would cost like $90-something. I could see myself trying one of these. Not a custom keyboard, but that's about, I feel like that's about as high as I would go price-wise. As soon as it's getting into like over 100, I feel like it's getting a bit too much. What keyboard am I using now? It's not very helpful, but it's some it's a relatively cheap blue switch keyboard. Like it's a generic blue switch keyboard, I suppose. When the issue be server side, can't you just log it? No, because I don't know what I'm not getting the same error that everyone else is getting. I'm not a patron of myself, so I don't know what they're getting. I don't even know what their data looks like. I'd have to make a Patreon account and give it like credit card information and then become a patron of myself to even know what information they're getting. As far as I know, I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting, but oh yeah, that looks right. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at this. Non-object on 202. Interesting. Official cherries or generics? They are definitely generics. Yeah, one of those brands like Opteron or something like that. One of those, or I've forgotten the other one. But yeah, there's some brands that make clone cherries. Yeah, but you can log their info on the server. I guess I could. It seems a little bit like rude to log all their personal information. Oh, Otemu, yeah, I've had switches from them as well. Yeah, mostly the cheap stuff. One day I might spend some real money on a keyboard. Gateron, yeah, that's another one for sure. I don't know what switches these ones are. I should actually Gateron was probably what I was thinking of, not Opteron. I don't know exactly which switches these are, but it's definitely one of those. To the browser console and the web dev console. Interesting. But yeah, I might invest in a proper keyboard at some point. I do want to try a Model M, because I feel like for typing, that might not be a great like gaming keyboard. For typing, it seems like that's pretty good. That's supposed to be pretty good. And sell it later. Yeah, catch all their data and sell it. True, good idea. All right, so. All right, I think I know what's going on here. I have to let me print the member details again. I thought I knew what was happening, but I guess I didn't. I thought I'd done this or before, but I guess I hadn't. Okay, so should be getting object ID. Oh, really? How is this failing then? Okay. Anyway. Web drivers. Uh-oh, what for? When I think of web drivers, I think of NVIDIA web drivers, which were usually the ones you wanted. I think you're talking about something else. A Ducky one. Oh yeah, I heard Ducky makes good stuff. I might consider doing that. Web drivers for my programmable keyboard. Oh, those web drivers. Oh yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if I would trust like keyboard drivers from the internet. I remember when I had a Razer keyboard for a little while, and that whenever I plugged that in the first time, Windows would try to install some software, and I assume it was just to control like the lighting and stuff like that. But I don't need that on my computer. I just don't. Oh. Wrong. Oh, that's interesting. I might have my scopes wrong, perhaps. That's right. 360 no scope. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, good to know. Oh, I hate this API. It's so needlessly complicated. So, what I've come to the conclusion of is that I was getting more info than I was supposed to be getting because I guess it knows that I'm the creator of this client, and so it just gave me all the permissions to myself. And without, instead of, you know, giving me the, instead of giving me what other people would get by going onto this page. Alright, well in that case, let's, get rid of all that. Weird, very weird, okay. I'm having to test in the background. The ANP and API stands for ass and penis. That's what I'm saying. Alias CD RM-RF. What the hell are you trying to do there? You're trying to like, you're actually trying to just destroy someone's entire life. What layout do you guys prefer for keyboard? 60% TKL or full size? I feel like for me it's got to be full size. Even though I'm aware that I don't use the number pad a lot, I do use it sometimes, and when it's not there I get annoyed. So I'm absolutely a full size Andy. That being said, for laptops, I actually prefer not full size, not having a number pad on a laptop. Okay. Alias grub, Jesus. I don't use the number pad much, but it feels wrong not having it. So I've it's something that this is a weird example of using the number pad, but you know how when you know how when you write C or C++, yeah, you know when you write C or C++, and you need to write a, you need to make a pointer. I've gotten in the habit of being like, I don't know, void pointer, and instead of pressing Shift 8 to do asterisk, I'll use the multiply key on the keypad. It is a little quicker, and so I've gotten into that habit. So I feel, yeah, whenever I don't have the number pad and I don't have that, I feel a little bit empty inside. I stands for insertion. True. Numpad pointer users rise up. Hey, that's me. That's me. We can all be. We can all press asterisks together. Yo, you want to come over to my house and press asterisks? Anyway, okay. I think... Alright, I think this is actually going to be even simpler than I thought it was. I think we can just say... if... Alright, hang on. I think I can... Wait, let's show this on stream. If... Oops. Count greater than 0. If... Yo! What's this? HD waffles! Thank you so much for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. I do like some high-def waffles. Sounds delicious. Okay, so I think this is how this will work. Hey, thank you for the Bezos bucks. Sick and tired of the fucking ads. I get it. I get it. Hey, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Okay, so seems like what I want is included 0.
Cheer 100. The worst thing about having to work on a Mac for me was adapting to not having home and their combinations to what I was accustomed to. I kept randomly ending up at the end of the file, etc. I wanted to smack the damn laptop into the wall. Eventually I just downloaded Carabiner to fix the fucking shortcuts.
Now I get that. Yeah, the shortcuts are all very different on macOS. You have to, instead of home and end, you have to get used to like command right and command left. There's no page up or page down. I think that might be command up or down. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, it's a lot of new stuff. A lot of very different keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, it can be tough to get accustomed to that. Yeah. What's the other one as well? There are other ones that I always, whenever I go between them, I always have to like acclimatize myself, but I can't remember them at the moment. What's shakalackin'? We're almost done with the Patreon verification for my new mail client. That's actually not a client, it's just the sign-up page, but still.
Cheer 100 Imagine. I actually even used home/end/insert/delete combos to cut/copy and paste. It was a huge fucking culture shock for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. It is like that for sure. Yeah. At least what's nice about Linux is that, to be fair, it's because they kind of had to. But most of the keyboard shortcuts are like consistent with the Windows ones, so it's not as hard to like go between them. I think when I say they needed to, yeah, it's probably because it was either, you know, Linux has such a struggle with just sheer survival, so you know they kind of have to be, they have to try for familiarity when they can, and also probably a lot of the people who develop Linux are also, you know, also Windows users or former Windows users, so you know it probably works out like that anyway. I think I can actually, yeah, I'm actually going to make this into a single if statement.
Cheer 100. Funny thing is, the way I did learn to use del/insert to copy/cut/paste was Draft Basic. That thing didn't have Control+C/D.
Wow, QBasic. Haven't heard that for a little while. I remember QBasic just because when I was a kid I would play around with MS-DOS, but and QBasic would be like that was another language I could write. I could write a little bit of BASIC. It's almost like it was written to be really basic or something. But yeah, that was fun. Early on, before I was any good at programming at all, it was fun to like just make DOS do stuff with BASIC. But I don't know if I ever learned any of the like keyboard shortcuts or any of the more advanced stuff. Yeah, I almost certainly didn't. I probably just wrote, this was the complexity of the programs I wrote was probably 10, x equals 1, 20, print x, 30, x equals x plus 1, 40, go to 20, I don't think it ever got any more complex than that. But I was just like, whoa, I made it do something. But yeah. But I would have been like 10 at the time, so yeah. I'd be equally impressed today. Hey, there you go. I'm glad someone is. Unlike my mom. My dad tried to sound cool, saying he wrote in COBOL his previous job. I laughed at him and said, I can write in C. Eat shit, COBOL user. Yeah. QBasic had a great help screen, TBH, that had absolutely... Oh, imagine the pain I went through when my first computer had IBM Run Basic that had absolutely no help. Had to guess how to make everything work. Oof. The manual was long lost. Oh god. Yeah, I'm sure the manual would have had a lot of like... Because back then, it's true that like manuals would have like entire program listings and you could copy them into... Like manually type them out into Basic and you get like a little game out of it. You're like, whoa. That was a different time, yeah. Now everyone just writes some bullshit in Python. Alright. Okay. Is it still worth learning COBOL for legacy systems? I'm sure there are jobs out there. It's probably not a huge market, not a huge amount of demand, but I'm sure the people that know COBOL get paid very well in the handful of jobs that there are, just because, you know, you need someone to fill the spot, and you need someone to be familiar with the language. Wouldn't invest if you don't have a job offer. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. I have heard they pay well, just like mainframe admins. Interesting. Yeah, it's probably because, you know, there's a low demand, but there's also a really low supply. So my guess is that, and whatever is still using COBOL today is probably pretty mission critical. So my guess is you get paid reasonably well. Hey bro, maybe is there anyone who knows Huawei OLT? I need help right now. In 2 hours I will have to upgrade unit, but have problems with one thing. Anyone? I don't know anything about Huawei OLT, sorry. When the COVID stimulus happened, it came out that my state's unemployment system is COBOL. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a lot of stuff that's still old. That's just been in production for like 60 years. But yeah. Alright, hang on. And yeah, they've just never updated it. They just never had to. And so it's still there. And it's cheaper to, or at least they believe, they feel it's cheaper to keep it, to not risk upgrading it than to just keep it the way it is. Sorry, my nose is still iffy. What was I gonna say? Have you used emoji code? Is that programming with emojis? Is that, I haven't, I'm just taking a guess. I haven't used it. I don't know what it is. COBOL is based, is it? I've never written it. Yes, it is. Oh, God. Owo script better? Is it actually? Entirely of Owo faces? Wait, I need to look this up now. hang on. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah. Emoji code, eh? Full-blown programming language consisting of emojis. Okay, let's look at the docs example. Oh, do I not have emojis installed on this system? I might have to get emojis. I think that's what it's called. Hang on. I might have to, yeah, Nodo. Oops, Nodo fonts emoji. Do I not have this installed? I don't. Oops, I don't have any. I can't look at any emojis on here. Oh, does it do it? Okay, all right. So, sorry. As soon as I finish this, so hang on, I think I have to restart Chromium. All right. What was this? All emoji source code files are named like file.grapes or file.emojc. Okay, well, that's acceptable, I suppose. Although, of course, grapes is the file extension that suits emoji code the best. Emojc is used for compatibility with systems that do not support emoji file names well. So let's get started by creating a file called greeter.emojc and put some content into it. Finishing flag, grapes, watermelon. This is the basic structure every program must have. Finishing flag is a special part of the language after which comes a code block. Every code block begins with grape and ends with watermelon. When the program is run, the code block after flag is executed. Is this a C program? It might be. It might just be something that that just translates all into C tokens at some point. As you can see, our program does not do anything at the moment, so let's add a greeting. Smiley face, hey, ABC, hey ABC, exclamation point. Before analyzing this code, we'll give it a try. Once a command line, open a command line and navigate to the directory containing greeter.emojc, then run this command, emoji code c greeter.emojc. This asks the compiler to compile greeter.emojc. If everything goes well, it should exit without a message and generate a file called greeter. Jesus, but okay. So it's a complete language, I suppose. Just joined. What the hell is this? Apparently, this is an entire programming language with emoji. I guess that makes sense. They can use a bunch of actual mathematical symbols from emoji. And what was Owo code? Owo code. Oh, this is actually a keyword. It just converts words to keywords. If instead of if. Penetrate is in. Oh god. So instead of something in something else, it's something penetrate something else. Is this JavaScript? This is like JavaScript. Break is break. Const is const. Continue is continue. Owo script. Is that something else? Is that what we're looking at? Oh, that's something else. That's another one. So this is an Owo version of JavaScript. Owo script is a language, another language consisting entirely of Owo faces. Cock is what? Didn't read it. Cock is crate. Wet is let. Me IRL is self. This is probably a reference I don't get. Stwuct soup. Twait. Twoo. Tippity tap is type. Wine is while. How is where. Use me daddy is use. Ah is unsafe. Communism is union. That's pretty funny. Communism is union. Pubes is pub. Jesus. Move me daddy is move. Mod is Discord mode hotel. Jesus. Sex is match, yeah. Alright, well, false. Oh god. Well, frequently owed questions. Why to fluff would to develop something like this, ooh? Why not? I was bold. Sorry I don't speak idiot. I don't know why you'd be here then, but if for some reason you still want to use this entire readme has been commented with the English equivalents in its source. Alright. Anyway. Because what's Owo script? If, well, okay, so this looks relatively normal so far. Oh. Never mind. Owo, quick, Owo, quick, Owo, Owo, ooh, oh, okay. Okay. Alright then. It's Turing complete via simple reduction via brainfuck. The OWO script repository also contains an optimizing transpiler capable of generating OWO script from brainfuck code. Okay. If this planet got destroyed tomorrow, the universe would lose very little. Can you imagine if this was like... If this specifically... Can you imagine if this was like the only evidence that humans existed? Me IRL is self. Anyway. Great news, everybody. You should be able to, now, if you have a Patreon subscription, you should be able to type in ! mail in the chat and get your very own, Mail KC account if you log in with Patreon. Sample size of 1. Yes, so far one person has succeeded in doing it. So I believe you should be able to as well. Hopefully. Wait, what's this? Aussie ++? Oh my god. How do I add this to Outlook? You actually can add this to Outlook. These are but auto discover is not set up properly, so these are the settings you'd want for Outlook. Right there. What's Aussie++? The programming language from down under. Oi, mate! All your Australian lingo is valid syntax. Boomerangs is greater than curly braces. True Aussie mode, where upside down characters become valid code. Okay. G'day, mate! Import me funk, hit the sack. Import me funk, chuck some dice. The hard yakka for Dreamtime is brackets less than. Gimme, bout to get some winks, mate. I reckon I'll have a walkabout until yeah, nah. Gimme zzz. Hit the sack, 1000. You reckon chuck some dice 06 equals 0? If so, I think that's ternary. If it's 0, mate, fuck this. Gimme that nap was Bonza, mate. Dream time. Cheers. Wait, hang on. Cheers. Damn it, I fucking muted the tab. Cheers. I hate that I could understand this. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is relatively, this is a humanistic language. It actually makes sense to human beings. And human beings can write this, can read this with no trouble. Oh god. The main branch of OWO code is called Daddy. I guess that makes sense instead of Master. Yo, John B. Dev, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate it. Hey, you can be owner of your very own Doing Your Mom and BillGates.sex email address. What is this? It's Aussie++. I'm guessing this is actually like boiled down to C++, or like what is this? What's the back end of this language? Bail. View live demo. Oh, I already saw it. Playground. Oh, so I can actually write. What else have we got? Randombeer.aussie. Alright. Import me funk. Chuck some dice. The hard yakka for random beer is brackets. I guess this is a function, and then this is like the parameters. And these are boomerangs, right? That's what they were saying. Boomerangs are better than curly braces. You reckon chuck some dice is a 0, Bale Fosters 1, Bale Coopers 2, Bale Pilsner. You reckon random beer is a Foster's? Give me Flamin' Hell. Gives a Cooper's. Give me You Beauty. Something else. Give me don't know that one. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go claim Matt KC sucks at doing your mom. Hey, fuck yeah! It's about time someone got that. I still really want to get. I still really want to get Matt KC sucks. It's just so expensive. $280. Keep in mind, American dollars. Not these are freedom bucks, not dollary dues. $280 American dollars a year to say that I suck. It's $279 on the first year. It's $281 per year after that to say that I suck. So, I mean, I'd love to say it, but I don't. I don't want to spend that much. That's the only thing. So yeah. Proud owner was doing your mom. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Self-proclaimed perfect language, Dreambird. So yeah, hell yeah, you can go and get your own, go grab your own, doing your mom, or BillGates.sex if you're a patron. I'll make a patron post later on, so that people can, so the patrons know, because certainly not all of the patrons watch the streams. All right, let's look at Dreambird. What are we looking at? Oh yeah, and by the way, if you do want to use your male KC, let me change the title real quick. Here we go. It's I've officially called it male KC. If you do want to use your male KC accounts in a real mail client, these are the details you'll need. Because I don't have auto discovery on, so it won't resolve these automatically, but that will get you there. Make a Patreon post right now to come to the stream to test it live. I don't know, that might piss people off. There's a lot of YouTube viewers that like really aren't interested in streams. But I will absolutely make a Patreon post talking about it at some point. Alright, what's Dreambird? Perfect programming language. Dreambird 3 is a perfect programming language. These are its features. When you are finished reading through all the features, check out the examples. Exclamation marks. Be bold. End every statement with an exclamation mark. Oh, that's sick. Actually, why don't we do that? Why do we use semicolons? It should be an exclamation mark. If you're feeling extra bold, you can use even more. If you're unsure, that's okay. You can put a question mark at the end of the line instead. It prints debug info about that line to the console for you. Ain't that some shit? That's actually pretty useful. You might be wondering what Dreambird 3 uses for the not operator, which is an exclamation mark in most other languages. That's simple. The not operator is a semicolon instead. Well, yeah, why not? Obviously, you'd swap them out. Okay. There are 4 types of declaration. Constant constants can't be changed in any way. Const name equals Luke. Constant variables can be edited but not reassigned. Interesting. Okay, I guess that makes sense. That's kind of like a reference. Variable constants can be reassigned but not edited. Okay, so this is now this is just immutable now. Variable variables can be reassigned and edited. Oh, excellent. Immutable data. Mutable data is an anti-pattern. Use the const keyword to make a constant. Its value will become constant and immutable and will never change. Please be careful with this keyword as it is very powerful and will affect all users globally forever. Oh no. Both variables and constants can be named with any Unicode character or string. Const, first alphabet letter equals A. Var const, thumbs up equals true. Var 1 equals 1. This includes numbers and other language constructs. Const 5 equals 4. Print 2 plus 2 equals 5. True. I think this might be the one flaw of this language. I feel like being able to set a variable name to just a number, that might cause a couple issues, right? Everything else I was on board with. Everything else, I don't mind constant. I just think 5 being equal to 4, that's probably not good. It's like true, false equals false, true in Python 2. Oh god. Some languages start at arrays 0, which can be unintuitive for beginners. Some languages start at arrays at 1, which isn't representative of how the code actually works. Dreambird 3 does the best of both worlds. Arrays start at -1. Okay, makes sense. You can now use floats for indexes too. Oh, what a great idea. 0.5. Okay, so this was -1. This was 0. And this was 1. So if you make 0.5 equal to 4, it puts it in between. Okay, it's logical. I get it. Why can't we do that in a real language? Why can't we say, 0.4 is going to be this, and then it just slots it in between. That seems like it works for me. In case you really need to vary a variable, the when keyword lets you check a variable each time it mutates. Const var health equals 10. When health equals 0, you lose. Man, that's actually really useful. I wish more languages had a when keyword. Instead, you have to do some dumb bullshit with like event loops and like sending messages and all that bullshit. Why can't I just have a when? That seems like that feels like every language should have that. Dreambird 3 has a built-in garbage collector that will automatically clean up unused variables. However, if you want to be extra careful, you can specify a lifetime for a variable with a variety of units. Const name 2 equals Luke lasts for 2 lines. Okay. Const name 20s Luke lasts for 20 seconds. Okay, I don't know about that. That feels like it might cause some problems. By default, a variable will last until the end of the program, but you can make it last in between program runs by specifying a longer lifetime. Const name infinity. That's useful. Variable hoisting can be achieved with this neat trick. Specify a negative lifetime to make a variable exist before its creation and disappear after its creation. Print name. Oh, I see. So you can make it -1 and then the variable exists on the line before. Okay, I mean, that's logical. Loops are a complicated relic of archaic programming language. Based. In Dreambird 3, there are no loops. Oh, that's all. I thought there was going to be talk more about that. No, there just are no loops. Okay. To install Dreambird to your command line, first install the Dreambird installer. To install the Dreambird installer, install the Dreambird installer. Okay, I get it. That makes sense to me. Due to the complicated installation process, you can now install the Create Dreambird app that installs everything for you. Oh, good. That's well, and I don't know. I feel like I'd prefer the manual installation process. Booleans can be true, false, or maybe. All right. Add event key down equals true equals false. Okay, familiar with that from JavaScript. Is key down. If keys is undefined, return maybe. Otherwise, return true or false. Okay, maybe. Well, that makes sense to me. Dreambird 3 has significant white space. Use spacing is to specify the order of arithmetic operations. Oh no, wait, really? So because of the spaces, this is 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1, and that equals 7. That would be correct anyway because of the order of operations. But if you modify the spaces so that 1 plus 2 is together and then got multiplied by 3, these get done first, which, sure. I guess because they're closer together, they should be done first. Unlike some other languages, Dreambird 3 allows you to use the caret for exponentiation. Yo, that's actually a good feature. I'm tired of typing in math.pow or whatever the hell. More languages should have this. When do I actually need to do an XOR in real life, right? I need to do POWs more often. You can also use the number name, for example, print 1 plus 2. That's useful. That gets around the whole issue of having, magic numbers in your code. You can fix not having magic numbers in your code by just not having numbers at all, right? I feel like that's a good idea. When it comes to indentation, Dreambird 3 strikes a happy medium that can be enjoyed by everyone. All indents must be 3 spaces long. So people who don't like 2 spaces because it's too small, and people who don't like 4 spaces because it's too wide or too short, 4 spaces too wide. 3 is a compromise, okay, that works. Negative 3 spaces is also allowed, okay. We're really pleasing everyone here, positive 3 and negative 3. JavaScript lets you do different levels of comparison. Equals for loose comparison, equals for a more precise check. Dreambird 3 takes us to another level. You can use equals to do a loose check, okay? You can use equals to do a more precise check. You can use equals to be even more precise. If you want to be much less precise, you can use equals. Oh god. Okay, that's useful actually. Hang on. So pi equals pi, and that, but not that, because this is the variable, not the literal. Okay. Actually, that's the constant. I should get that right. It's the constant, not the literal. All right. If you want to be much less precise, you can use equals. That's actually kind of useful. Sometimes it is useful to have a less precise thing. In real programming, you have to do like floor or round or something to get 3.14 equal 3. But maybe you could just do an imprecise equals, right? To declare a function, you can use any letters from the word function as long as they're in the correct order. Oh, nice. Function add, func multiply, fun subtract, fn divide, funcd power, union inverse. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with any of those. Dividing by 0 returns undefined. I mean, true? Yes? Yeah, I don't see any issue with that. I want an equals operator that confirms the variables are comprised of the exact same physical atoms. True, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, no, this is cool. No exception thrown, no crash, it's just undefined, True, honestly. It is correct that anything divided by 0 is undefined. Strings can be declared with single quotes or double quotes. Okay, so that's most higher level languages can do that. They can also be declared with triple quotes. Yo, sick. In fact, you can use any number of quotes you want. Why not? Yeah, why not? Oh, even 0. Oh, this might cause some problems. I think this might be an issue in some circumstances. Please remember to use your regional currency when interpolating strings. Hello, dollar name. Hello, pound name. Hello, yen name. I assume if you get your own currency wrong, it fails to compile. Like if I was to use pounds living in the US or Australia, I assume that would be incorrect because it's got to be your currency. And make sure to follow your local typographical norms. Yeah, you put the euro at the end. True. The symbol for the Cape Verdean escudo is placed in the decimal separator position, as in $2.50. Developers from the Republic of Cape Verde can benefit from the syntax. You've pressed e.code. Ah, that's useful. Okay, that's a nice consistency. Type annotations are optional, so we can make that an integer. By the way, strings are just arrays of characters. Okay. Similarly, integers are just arrays of digits. Okay, makes sense. If you want to use a binary representation for integers, int9 and int99 types are also available. Wait, a binary representation for integers? Technical info, type annotations don't do anything, but they help some people feel more comfortable. Ah, okay. Yeah, well that's a lot of high-level languages as well. Regular expressions. You can use regular expression type to narrow string values. Oh, God. I think this might actually be valid. This actually looks like the correct regex for an email. To avoid confusion, you can use any spelling that you want, such as regex, regular expression, or even regular express if you like trains. I'm tired of Federal Express. I'm all about regular express for the normal person. For simplicity, all supported regular expressions match the regular expression. Regular expression. Oh god. The previous keyword lets you see into the past. Wow, they've created time travel. Use it to get the previous value of a variable. Score equals 5. Score plus plus. So score now equals 6, but previous score equals 5. Okay, I can get behind that. Similarly, the next keyword lets you see into the future. Oh, okay. When you click, okay. After click, all right. Additionally, the current keyword lets you see into the present. Well, that's not that's not useful at all. File structure, write 5 or more equal signs to start a new file. This removes the need for multiple files or any build process. I see. Thanks to recent advances in technology, you can now give files names. Oh, good, okay. Alright, so every time you create a new file, you just use some equalses. Makes sense. Many languages allow you to import things from specific files. In Dreambird 3, importing is simpler. Instead, you export to specific files. Oh, okay. Cool. Good to know. By the way, to see Dreambird 3 in action, check out this page. You've found hidden examples page. Oh god. Delete null. Oh dear. You can make classes, but you can only ever make one instance of them. This shouldn't affect how most object-oriented programmers work. Jesus, this is some real programmer humor, yeah. Jesus. This is how you could do this. Oh, error, can't have more than one player. Okay, this is how you could do this. Player maker. So, instead of, so when, oh, okay. So the player maker makes a new class every time, and that's how you get more than one player. That makes sense. Time. Use date now to get the current date and time. Okay, so JavaScript. By the way, you can set the time. Date now minus equals an hour. Okay. Important. Please remember to do this when the clocks change. Oh yeah, when daylight savings hits. That's useful, that's good to know. To avoid confusion, the delete statement only works with primitive values like numbers, strings, and booleans. Jesus, okay. Error, 3 has been deleted. No, what happened to 3? Can you future date now to wait? I'm sure you can. Dreambird 3 is a multi-paradigm programming language, which means you can use delete. Which means you can delete the keywords and paradigms you don't like. Okay, delete class, and now you can't make classes anymore. Yeah, fuck classes. I don't want classes. When perfection is achieved and there's nothing left to delete, you can delete. Okay. You can overload variables. The most recently defined variable gets used. Okay. Variables with more exclamation marks get prioritized. There. Okay. That I like that. Similarly, you can use an inverted exclamation mark for negative priority. I have to say, it's quite logical, this language. Const message hello, const message world. Reverse. Oh wait, you can reverse the direction of your code. I'm struggling to even figure out what that would do. No, don't delete Matt KC. Stop. For maximum compatibility with other languages, you can alternatively use the class name keyword when making classes. This makes things less complicated. Class name player const var health equals 10. In response to some recent criticism about this design decision, we would like to remind you that this is part of the JavaScript specification and therefore out of our control. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh no, they implemented JSX, but in DB3X. You can embed DB3X in Dreambird 3, it's just Dreambird 3, and it's also just HTML. Oh gosh. Warning, as you know, class is already a keyword in Dreambird 3, so you can't use it in DB3X. Oh, this is not okay. Class name is also a Dreambird 3 keyword, so you can't use that either. Instead, you can use the HTML class name attribute. Oh, it just keeps getting longer and longer. Please note, unlike JSX, you're free to freely use the for attribute because Dreambird 3 doesn't have loops. Ah, good. Okay. Nice. Asynchronous functions. In most languages, it's hard to get asynchronous functions to synchronize with each other. In Dreambird 3, it's easy. Asynchronous functions take turns running lines of code. So what does that mean? They're not asynchronous, or... You can use the no-op keyword to wait for longer before taking your turn. Okay, cool. In the program above, the computer interprets no-op as a string, and its sole purpose is to take up an extra line. You can use any string you want. Oh, so I could just write anything there. Cool. To use a signal, use use. When it comes to signals, the most important thing to discuss is syntax. In Dreambird 3, you can set and get signals with just one function. Okay. Alternatively, you can be more explicit with your signal syntax by splitting it into getter and setter. Okay. Cool. This is looking very React so far. Technical info, this is pure syntax sugar. The split signal functions are exactly the same as before. Okay. This means you can carry on splitting as much as you like. Oh no. Alright. Dreambird 3 features AMI, which stands for Automatic Exclamation Mark Insertion. If you forget to end a statement with an exclamation mark, Dreambird 3 will helpfully insert one for you. This is fine. Similarly, Dreambird 3 also features ABI, which stands for Automatic Bracket Insertion. If you forget to close your brackets, Dreambird 3 will pop some in for you. This is also fine. Okay, well, that might cause some problems. Just a few. Similarly, Dreambird 3 also features AQMI, which stands for Automatic Quotation Marks Insertion. If you forget to close your string, Dreambird 3 will do it for you. Okay. Alright. This can be very helpful in callback hell situations. Yeah, it looks great. Similarly, Dreambird 3 also features AI, which stands for Automatic Insertion. If you forget to finish your code, Dreambird 3 will autocomplete the whole thing! Please note, AI does not use AI. Instead, any incomplete code will be auto-emailed to Lou Wilson, not to be confused with Luke Wilson, who will get back to you with a completed line as soon as possible. Now recruiting. The backlog of unfinished programs has now grown unsustainably long. If you would like to volunteer to help with AI, please write an incomplete Dreambird 3 program and leave your contact details somewhere in the source code. Alright, cool. It's worth noting that GitHub Copilot doesn't understand Dreambird 3, which means Microsoft won't be able to steal your code. This is great for when you want to keep your open source project closed source. Using the word Dreambird 3 in your project name implies that Dreambird 3 Foundation does not own your project. However, not using it implies that Dreambird 3 Foundation does own your project. If you would like to keep ownership of your project, please always use the Dreambird 3, the word Dreambird 3 on it. Okay, cool. Contributions are welcomed. The most helpful way you can help is by donating to the Stonewall charity. Oh, we're actually getting serious here. This will help to prevent the Dreambird 3 creator from losing their human rights, allowing maintenance of the project to continue. Note, the contributing guide also helps to shake off unwanted fans of the project. Oh, I see. To run Dreambird, first copy and paste this raw file into chat.openai.com, then type something along the lines of what we expect this program to log to the console, then paste your code. If the compiler refuses at first, politely reassure it. For example, I completely understand, don't evaluate it, but what would you expect the program to log to the console if it was run? Smiley face. As of 2023, the compiler is no longer functional due to Dreambird language being too advanced for the current state of AI. SMH. Anyway, wild. Crazy. Anyway, what were you guys talking about? Cancel Matt Casey. No! Not yet. How bad of an idea would it be to change most of the fonts in KD with Segoe UI? I think that's a great idea. I think that's not bad at all. I think you might want to see it sometime is Fuckit.js, the JavaScript error steamroller. I can already kind of imagine what it does. Now I think I'm gonna, I think I might finish up for the day. I'm feeling kind of tired. I know we didn't get around to doing Premiere today. I'll do that on Wednesday instead. I think. I reckon so. So I think I'll now implement Dreambird. Can someone actually write a compiler? I feel like that would, for the most part, a lot of the stuff in that language is pretty good. There are a couple things I feel like that might break, that might be inadvisable, but hey, you know what? What do I know, right? I'm not a language maker, so maybe it's fine, right? Okay. I use GNOME with Inter, shameless knockoff of Apple San Francisco. Hell yeah. I mean, they're good fonts. They're useful for a reason. Join my Mind test server. Okay, this is going to be the last thing we do, and then I'll head off. So, I guess the new meta is to now play Minecraft on a website, or embed Minecraft onto a website. My favorite part of Fuckit.js is more conflicts comment. You're not getting away that easy. Oh really? My god. It's nighttime. Hang on, can I time set 0? Nope, I don't have permissions. But well, it looks like Minecraft. Wait. Yeah, it looks like Minecraft. Hi man. Hey, welcome to the game. What up? I just wish I could see a little bit better, but hey, it's Minecraft. What do these do? High res. Wait, how do I? Oh, I can't click them. It's my cursor is. Oh, there we go. High res, low res. Oh yes. Fit screen. That's fine. Show console. That's fine. All right, here we go. Now we get a real experience. Oh, they're hitting each other. Oh my god. I've seen this before. The fact that it runs decently at all is insane. It is actually kind of insane. When are we actually doing like a native port of Minecraft to JavaScript or WebAssembly though? That's what I'm looking for. I've seen people hosting full Minecraft 1.8 no compromise. It's insane. Yeah, that's wild. Maybe I should do that on one of my domains. But hey, nice. It works. Good shit. Speedrun. Yay. All right. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for all for hanging out. I think I'll be off to go get some dinner and shit like that. It's JavaScript, give it a month and it'll be ported. Yeah, hopefully. Let's see who we can raid. I guess I'm gonna... Oh yeah, I'll raid friend of the stream, my own personal hair cutter. I'll raid Laura. Assuming, hopefully she doesn't mind. They ported SM64 and Windows pinboard to JavaScript. That's true. And Java, I mean, Java is not C. It's not decompiled, but you can decompile it. No, you can decompile it. It is decompiled. Java is not C, but it should be like cross-compilable, right? All right. Let's see. Hopefully this will work out. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good rest of your evenings or days or whatever the hell you're doing. We'll look at Adobe next time. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.